is up? What is up? What is up? Geekdom. Hello. Hello there. It's Sunday. It's 11:13 a.m. I'm artisanmc, and this is Shop Talk Live. Thank you guys for coming through today. As you can see, it is an on-call edition, so forgive me for the roughness of my appearance. Um, I was up till 2 o'clock doing orders last night, and then this morning I got woken up with the sunrise to do orders, so I did not get to shave up and wash up. I don't even think I brushed my teeth. Thank God this is over the internet. Now you know how to smell it. But thank you guys for coming in. I see some people have donated to the chat already, or excuse me, donated to the stream already. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate the support that I get. I am a small channel, not a large one, and all the support actually matters. And I do appreciate it. One second. I am a little less prepared today because I've been up and running around all morning. I haven't even had breakfast yet. Thank you guys. I am not competing with the Super Bowl today. Excuse me. I didn't even know when it was. But it's next week. But I'm also on call next week. So we'll see what kind of audience you can pull with the Super Bowl on. Get to these real quick, like for the people who support. I see my coffee money coming through. Appreciate you. Aquateki, always faithful. Simple Fidelis. Appreciate you, Aquateki. I will give you that 3B salute. Appreciate you. I had a different way I thought this show was going to go Thursday, and it has changed up in the last 10 minutes. So we'll get to that. Shout out to the Swift Battle, he said, for the Geek Sunday tribute. Appreciate you, Swift, for always contributing it. I will give you that 3B salute. Appreciate you, Swift. I have to try to skillfully open some of these things so you don't hear them on the mic when I start rustling with the paper and stuff like that. So next one goes out to Darren Anderson. Appreciate you, Darren Anderson. I will give you that 3B salute. Appreciate you, Darren. I'll tell y'all this. I almost got my mobile kit completely together. Almost do. I forgot my god dang light. Forgot my dang light at home because I was busy. I was running back and forth. I've been doing a lot of late night creeping this weekend, and not in the fun way. So it's been a bit of a challenge. Next one goes out to No One, the package man in the building. Appreciate you, No One. I will give you a 3B salute. Appreciate So I'm going to hope to get this in before I get any more interruptions. Knocking on for Micah. Shout out to You know what I've noticed? You guys probably remember this. You remember when I got this thumb hurt at work and it healed up and closed up nicely? My writing has suffered since then. I cannot write for shit now. And I don't know if it's a fine motor control or what, but that is like fucking gone. It's actually taken focus and effort to get that shit to actually work correctly. It's like 39, not 39, 40. It was like 45. Certain sensitivity I realized I didn't have anymore. And since that injury, that shit gets a cramp. Shit right here gets a cramp. And it does not want to operate correctly at all, which is weird. All right, so where do we leave off? Shout out to Ian Williams. He said, Greetings from the UK. Do you read Stephen Barnes? I have not read Stephen Barnes, Ian, but if you have something you want to suggest from him, go ahead and drop it in the chat, or you can hit me on the Instagram, send me a line on Instagram, or artisan1112 at Gmail. And I will look into seeing what he is. But you have to tell me what is it you're interested in, what you actually want me to look at. Don't send something and say it's there. You got to put some context, put a frame on it for me. Let me know what the response is that you're looking for, not just did I get an email? Like, yeah, I got an email. What else do you want to know? So appreciate you, Ian. I will give you the guts and butts. Appreciate you.
Double up, 3 or 4 times. I ain't taking no lines, running up. Never let a hard time on the ones.
And this brother, I do appreciate coming through because it's always fun. He gets me to do this. Message says, Maestro, please. Appreciate you, no one. I will give you the guts and butts.
Double up, 3 or 4 times. I ain't taking no lines, running up. Never let a hard time on the ones.
And next one goes out to D Remedy. I think I saw D Remedy on Instagram. I think so. Appreciate you, D Remedy. I will give you 3B salute. Appreciate you. All right, so we're about 3 away from the goal. That's some of the usual suspects. Appreciate you guys' support. Now, let's see who's in this chat. I got seven in a box. What up, Herbert? Herbert, stay all day. Appreciate you, Herb, coming through. Herb, did you get to go by JT's thing at Mission Comics yesterday? Yeah, no smell-o-vision. Thankfully, my nigga. Thankfully, no smell-o-vision. Because last night it was raining out here. It's like 11:30, getting towards midnight. And I'm laying down on cardboard on wet ground when it's kind of raining, fixing a water heater, trying to keep a black widow from jumping in my fucking head or my ear or something like that while I was laying down there. It was I don't look, understand this. I try to talk little about my job. It's not that I'm complaining about it. I'm grateful for it. It's just sometimes it's some bullshit. Sometimes the situation itself is bullshit. I realized a long time ago in life that if I tell people stories about my life and stuff that happens to me, motherfuckers wouldn't believe it. Like, really? That happens? Like, yes, weird shit happens to me, dude. It does. The only way I can actually let y'all know it is to share it with you because you wouldn't believe it otherwise. Like, you serious? Yeah, that happened. Yeah, that totally happened. I also had Aquateki said his penmanship has suffered as he aged. My penmanship is suffering. I wouldn't even show this shit to you. I gotta consciously sit down and like, and I spent so look, I had to write on the board so many times about doing my penmanship, dude. I'm disappointed in that shit. I had to work on this for too long. No, shit can't suffer that bad. I can't even read the shit. Like, ugh. Is it the pen? Do I gotta keep getting smaller and smaller points? Right. Anyway, last night was yeah, yeah, it was past midnight by the time I finished that day. And I just fell asleep. I just fell asleep. I made myself some hot tea because I was kind of wet and kind of tired, like a lot tired, and just fell out. And woke up this morning to phone calls. Yeah, gotta maintain that kung fu grip. Like this is not the kung fu grip. Kung fu grip is this. Okay. Like, and this it gets like cramp now. It gets a cramp now. It'll get tired and hurt. It's like I remember why I could see the bone be underneath you. Fuck. All right. Anyway, y'all came for some geek stuff, so I should probably give y'all some geek stuff. Cardboard plumbing and spiders. Oh my, yes. It was an interesting night. If you want to understand how interested it is, I'm fixing old technology with new technology and having to use my ingenuity to make it work. Because 12 o'clock at night is not the time to try to, well, fuck it, I'm just going to replace this whole water heater. Not at midnight in the rain. No, we're not. We're going to fix this part and leave this water heater here. We're short on resources. Everybody is struggling. This is a multinational company and they are tightening the belt too. No bullshit. So, what did Herb say? Try to keep writing to make sure my penmanship stays legible. Yeah, it's a loss. It's going to become a lost art. And I don't care that we use computers as much, but if you journal, if you handwrite journal, put it this way, it'll stay longer. Barring of fire or water. Even with water, you can still read some penmanship after you dry the paper out. You can. But computer, loss of a drive, loss of this, it's gone. It's out. It's done. Like I told you guys before, I got my car broken into a bunch of years ago when I was staying in Vallejo. And it was the one night that I left my backpack, my little jump bag in my car. And it ran off with my backpack. Now, everything else in the backpack itself, the drawing pads and stuff like that, all of that stuff was replaced. But what could not be replaced was the flash drive I had in my backpack, in my audio little case for streaming on the go that had all my pictures and stuff in it. Flash drive full of pictures. I just lost about 10 to 15 years of my life in pictures. Rest of them were lost because of a storage place that me and my ex-wife had that she let go, and my stuff was in there. That was the rest of my pictures. That shit is gone. All of it is gone. Now, hard copy pictures, you keep up with them a little easier because you have to see them, right? Pictures on a flash drive, gone. Means all my porn is gone. All my sexy pictures are gone. Like I had a good, respectable file going on with two women. That shit is all gone now. I'm joking. But it's all gone now. And that's how easily digital stuff can be lost. That's how easy it is. So what are you gonna do? Put it up on the cloud so you can end up on the fappening? No. Look, I try to make it harder for the government to get my information, not easier. I'm not gonna volunteer all of that shit. What's wrong with you? No, no, bro. So yeah, it's go. It's go. Mad villainy laughing. Yeah, but here's the thing, Mad villainy. I'm actually serious. I lost some tasty pictures of me and my ex-wife having good times. I lost my daughter's graduation from junior high school. I lost my son's graduation from culinary school. I lost a couple of my birthdays. That shit is gone. And the person that stole my backpack don't give a fuck about none of that stuff. So as far as I know, it's sitting on the side of a road or down a hill somewhere. Just wasted away. All my memories lost. Well, not my memories, all the somewhat tangibles are lost. And that kind of brings it to what's going on with geekdom and stuff like that right now. Everything is being lost and overwritten, right? All the stuff that you like is going away if you are of a certain age, and walking away from what you knew it to be when you got into it and you liked it. And I'd say if you are of a certain age, this bothers the hell out of you. But also, if you are of a certain age, you see no problem with it at all, right? Now, I don't usually use the terms normie or anything like that because to me it sounds really dismissive in a sense, right? Um, I don't like to alienate people. Maybe that's because I was a small kid at one time and I understand what it means to be on the outside. But understand that the person on the outside usually has better insight. And the person on the outside who comes in actually remembers that. I try to include people for the most part. Like even saying geek elite on here, it's like a joke to myself. It's a joke to myself. I don't like elitist. I don't. But there has to be some differentiation between me talking about geek stuff and just random fucking floating heads on the internet talking about some shit. You got to know what their credentials are on this, right? Did they just jump in the 2000s because geek stuff was getting kind of cool? Marvel movies was fun. They just jumped in on it then, or was it way back in the 80s, in the 70s with them? They've actually read this stuff, not in hardcover form that they just got from Amazon, or they didn't just Google it or read Wikipedia about the shit so they can regurgitate that to you. No, you were there when it was original. You read it when it was original. And you've talked about it and lived with it a long time and loved it and supported it by putting your hard earned money or your parents' hard earned money when you were a kid into maintaining it. It's cost you some things. It is a personal journey and a personal sacrifice. It wasn't just because it was cool. It wasn't cool. And maybe that's why I identify with it so much because I remember when it wasn't cool. And the people that I talk to, if you've seen the signature series, which you haven't seen much of it because it takes a while for me to get those done, unfortunately. But the people I talk to are people who I consider elites because they've lived with this long enough. I am very union minded, right? Come from a union family. I worked union when I was a carpenter. And I do believe in that understanding that you pay your dues in this shit. I get just kind of judgmental with people who just came in and then they want to claim authority over something. They paid your fucking dues. Anybody I've done an interview with, and so far there's only been two, but there are more people on the list. Charles is another one that needs to get interviewed. Dr. Tiasan. Kevin was one of the people that I had on my list to interview, but Kevin passed. But far be it from some people to know, Kevin was a big fucking geek, high value geek, if you like that shit. Because anybody who make money playing fucking Yu-Gi-Oh is a wonder to me. Because I can't stand fucking Yu-Gi-Oh, but I know you can make some money at it if you're good. Yeah, Trail, I ain't new to this. I grew to this. I grew in this. It grew around me. And sure enough, when I got here back in the 70s when I was born and, you know, popped out of daddy's one one shot, hitter and landed in mom's soil, comic books and geek stuff was already here. There wasn't an all-encompassing term for it, but it was already here. And I got into it. And I loved it and I supported it, put my money behind it. At that point, it had only been around maybe for what, 30 years. This is the reasons why I don't give people like Stan Lee shit for what he was doing in the 60s and the 50s to keep this shit, comics and stuff like that relevant, to keep putting these characters out there in your face so you knew who an Incredible Hulk was, even though the sales on the book were garbage. Because I respect the struggle that these people did to keep this stuff there and relevant and putting the love into it to keep bringing it to new generations. That's just where we're at now. At this point, I've been a geek and into this stuff for about 30, 40 years. It's nothing that I brag about because it's nothing that I never needed to. Other geeks I know, you don't have to date that shit like that. Oh, I've been a geek for 30 something years. I read everything that used to be about. Yeah, fuck out of here. I read a lot of shit, right? I got long boxes full of comic books in storage of shit that I've read. And I've read every one of them. But I don't wander around swinging my dick and banging people in the head with it. I don't. I just correct inaccuracies. That's annoying enough for people. Forgive me, but that's breakfast. Trail, I don't even know what that means. I'm sitting here trying to figure out what HVG means. And I keep like, damn, my coffee ain't kicked in yet. But anyway, that's where Geekdom is right now. Geekdom is in the process of trying to bring in a new crop of people to carry it for the next 30 to 40 years. And they're also in the process of all us old motherfuckers. Oh, HVG, high value geek. Got you. Thank you, Mad Villainy. Aquatech, yeah, thank you. Look, I told you, I'm having oranges on stream so I can actually wake up. This is breakfast. Thank you, high value geek. It was. Now, Geekdom is currently in the process of bringing in these new people that they want to carry it for the next 30 years, and kind of trying to shuffle off us old geeks. Kind of just trying to shuffle us off. And part of the reason behind it is you have a lot of females in charge of it now, the gatekeepers of it, so to speak, where they may have seen it as a place that was limited to them and exclusionary to them earlier on. Now they've got into it because obviously it wasn't exclusionary. And they decide they want to turn it in a completely different direction and highlight what they want to highlight in geekdom by getting rid of you old fuckers, so to speak. Now, this is disastrous because as you look around the geek landscape and look at these major corporations who've acquired these IPs and whatnot and put out products, they're usually shit. They're usually shit. There is no way to spin how terrible Rings of Power was. Outside of saying, well, look, kind of beautiful. You can tell where they spent the money. Yeah, not on the fucking script, apparently. But that's no different than what you can see in comic books, where you can have a beautiful book, beautiful artwork. Story is trash. Why? Because the writer sucks. They don't know how to write anything outside of their genitals. So basically, they're like a fucking 8-year-old. Yeah, walk around swinging because I don't run. No, it's the only way you can do it. You got to walk around. Old bull, I ain't running down this fucking hill. They'll be there. And the fandom, are you the gate? And the key master of fandom. Are you the gatekeeper? That's kind of what it is right now. And this is the thing that bothers me. Females in geekdom have always been there. Always been there. There's never a time I have not known that there were girls in geekdom. Now, back when I was younger, it wasn't as many of them, but it's a lot of them now, right? And a lot of them just using it as a way to get their own fucking attention. Like my boy Black Bang, right? Sam, we have this thing going back and forth on Instagram. I keep sending them pictures of people I know. These are geek females that I know. Come into the shop, I know them, they cosplay and all the rest of this shit, right? And I keep asking them, is this a cosplayer or is this a whole player? Because these chicks who came into geekdom and they got in through cosplay and going to cons and getting a lot of attention from people, and they were just basic looking chicks, got OnlyFans and shit now. OnlyFans? You was just being a hoe. And I said this earlier on when I met them and they got offended. Because when they came into geekdom, they brought this bullshit with them about, oh, it was so sexist and all the rest of this. I'm like, oh, here we go with this shit. Nobody told you to dress up and cut out all the pieces around your tits and ass as a character. Nobody told you to do that. You chose to do that, right? You chose to be sexy, whatever the fuck. It's like, man, they just found another day outside of Halloween to let their whole hoe out. Now, they got offended at the time, but here we go, 10 years later, what these motherfuckers doing? Might as well be porn. Might as well be porn. Stop calling it, stop saying you in geekdom and you a cosplayer. Just say you do porn. Because that's all you trying to show on the OnlyFans. Cheesecaking. And trying to get that nerdy guy money. Because it's there and you know they got some of it because this is a tech world right now, right? Guys who work in tech actually making some good money. The big 300-pound, four-eyed goofball I saw, what a plastic surgery victim sitting third row at the Dave Chappelle concert was a tech guy. You think he would have got that Botox fortified face and boobies and stuff like that otherwise? No, nigga, that could have been a Tinder date, as far as you know. That ain't his regular. No. They just know where the money is. And that's what they're going to. They're going where the money is. So when I see these chicks in the geekdom, they bring this shit with them. All these people who are pissed off at geeks and stuff like that, saying they exclusionary and racist and misogynist and all the rest of this shit. Did you even like this? Why'd you even come here? Because here's the thing. If I say, and this is not me, I'm just taking it for example. Right? What up, Artie Idmore? Oh, you see, I knew it would trickle back to you. He heard about the brioche PB&J. What up to my Negro, the doughboy? He heard. He felt it. He felt it in his nether regions. Now I got to figure out who told you. But I did put it out there because I wanted you to hear. Yeah, that PB&J on that brioche was fucking bomb. That shit was bomb. I had two of them back to back, just like, oh. Give credit where it's due, homeboy. So, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought because I saw Brioche Man show up here. Fuck! I had the rest of my coffee, man. I'm losing my track of my trains. I completely lost my train of thought. Damn, I'm getting old. 50 is coming hard in the face. Shit. Fucking with art. I forgot my train of thought. What did BMT say? Is it bad that women wearing hit cosplay and the customer wants it? Yes, and I think that was my point I was getting to about the difference between geeks and geekdoms and just hoes looking for attention. I have a couple of friends, right? One of which is a female, and she does do cosplay. Her and her friend do cosplay. They've been doing cosplay since I've known them, over 10 years. I haven't yet to see one of their costumes be all hoified. Not one of them. They do comic books, they do anime primarily, and then some manga characters, right? I have yet to see one of those costumes be holed up. And they're not ugly chicks. They're not overweight, they're not ugly. They're nice looking chicks. But they don't do that. That's not why they're into it. But these other chicks that got into it, every costume has to be sexy. And the only thing it seems like they use it for is to find men at cons to try to snag them a husband. But can't stop doing it. Now, you can take offense to that. And I had part of this conversation this weekend about people can take offense to anything you say. Don't take away the point that I get the right to say the shit at all. I'm observant. I pay attention. I think about stuff. And if you ask me, I'll give you my observations. I do not think that you're going to like them, but I didn't have them for you to like. And like the rest of the world, I'm not existing for your pleasures. I don't. Just like you ain't existing for mine. So if I see something in geekdom that I find like, man, this is a huge diversion from where it was. This has nothing to has nothing to do with geekdom. They're just gaining off of it. Well, that's what the fuck I see. Why do I see it that way? Because I was there before it started and I saw what you brought in with you. Try to color us like that. No. Remember my friend Chris, this dude I told you he's one of the smartest dudes that I actually know. Got me into playing Skyrim and D&D and stuff like that. His wife played D&D too. And Karen was smart as shit. Teacher. Karen was cool as fuck. Cool as fuck. Regular chick. Deep, knew all of that stuff. She wasn't no dog. She wasn't hoeing shit up. No, she was just in geekdom because she liked this shit. There's always females in this stuff. But what happened is these people who were always on the outside who never liked this shit decided to get into it because they saw that's where the tide was going. That's where the money was going. So they decided to come over here too and plant their flag over here and say, well, I'm in geekdom now. Some of this shit has to change. What I call putting the pink drapes up. That's all that happened. So understand when you look at geekdom right now and you see all this stuff that we find really objectionable and affronts to our sensibilities of understanding who these characters are, what these stories were about, who these creators were, and what they were making this stuff for. When we see that and we see shit like, oh, we need to drop the men off of X, goofy shit like that. Oh, this character always has to be put up front. Oh, Blade has to have a daughter. Understand who these people were. These were the people that never liked this shit. These are not people who grew up with it, really loved it, and really tried to get into this stuff because they wanted to add to this in a positive way. No, motherfuckers now just get into it because it's a stepping stone to get something else that they want. And that's how they use it. Like a fucking stepping stone. They just step on it. And since I've been watching 3 seasons of binge on the wire recently, and I'm up to season 3, yeah, they stepped on it and made bullshit. That's what they did. It ain't that raw. It's not that pure. No, they stepped on it. Gave you baking soda, nigga. Well, I don't want baking soda. I like my geekdom uncut and raw. Shout out to Joe Herb. Speaking of raw, appreciate you, Herb. I got that analogy tickling myself because yes, I finally did start watching The Wire, and I've been binging on that shit. So it's Angry Man's fault. I told him too, so I got to run back and let him know. He knows he did it. I told him he did. You have fucked me up, son. Shout out to her. Appreciate you. I will give you the guts and butts. Appreciate you, her.
Double up. 3 or 4 times. I ain't telling no lie. Let's run it up. Never let a hard time on the was.
And the double that. Appreciate you.
Money for the crowd, double lag, pussy on fat.
This motherfucker.
Money for the crowd, double lag, pussy on fat, double lag, 100 on the sack, double that, block like a ghost town, still double back.
The next one goes out to Trail Bentley. Appreciate you, Trail. I will give you that 3D. Now, Matt Villain said, I just binged The Wire in 2021. Great series. I had never watched The Wire. I realized it getting through season 2. I realized it getting through season 2. When I tried to watch The Wire, I got in on the boring season. I got in on season 2 when they were doing all that shit about the docs and stuff like that. That shit was boring. That was too convoluted, too stretched out. I'm like, that was the boring season. That first season they must have thought that was a one-off and they didn't know what to do afterwards. Like, oh shit, this worked. Do the next one. Shit. Second season, yeah. First season, oh yeah, I was there for every episode. So hopefully this third season will be pick up. And I'm late to it. It's just, look, there was something else I was watching at the time, and I'm thinking it was Sons of Anarchy that I was watching at the time. Something else. Just wasn't that. But now that I've watched it, I have a better appreciation for Charles being a Baltimore cop. Sort of. Because it's television, it's not reality. But Baltimore looked fucked up. Like shit. Too much shit, dude. Yeah, that's probably what happened. So, toilet paper was white. Now it's going to be lavender, 4-ply scented. Oh my God. Are you serious? The fuck color do I care it is? It's going on your ass. It's coming out whatever color the shit you eating. And why does it need to smell good? You're going to wipe shit on it. Not sit around smelling the toilet paper. Nigga, what? Look, it just needs to be over 2-ply. I don't like giving myself, rectal exams. Is it scented? The fuck do I care? I'm not smelling it. I'm also not smelling your ass after you wipe it. So what? Well, many smarter people than me can point this out. Is like you can tell how far society is sliding by the decadence it involves itself in. Scented colored toilet paper is an issue. We just had a whole dude beat the fuck to death, but scented colored toilet paper is important. Really, nigga? Hold on, I got something for that.
Grow up! Grow up! Grow up!
For me to you. Now, wind back to the point. I don't care about women in geekdom. I don't. I like women in geekdom. I'm disappointed that there's so many cute women in geekdom now, and I'm so fucking old. That's the only part that's disappointing about it, to me. Because I told y'all I got an age limit. I do. I would not go below now because I'm getting older and it keeps moving with me. I probably wouldn't go below 35. And it probably should be up higher now to be 40. I'd probably not go below 40. So all these cute 27, 30-year-old geeks, that's cute, but y'all are my daughter's age range. I can't be fucking around with y'all. And that's how I think about it. So I'm not actually interested in young female geeks right now. I know there's a lot of them out there, and they like, dressing up in their costumes and stuff like that. Cool. That's all well and good. This has to get moved forward with the next generation of geeks. But what the question is what is this next generation of geeks actually getting into? Are they getting into this because it's the stories of these characters? Or are they getting into it because it's a story of some activism with these characters? Activism with the characters. Because that's all I'm seeing right now. That's why none of these stories are about shit. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for activism, but I don't think it needs to be everywhere. It's like union. I'm a union member, right? Or I have been. I don't think unions need to be everywhere. I don't. Just what it is. Certain things work better with unions involved. Other things work shitty with unions involved. Yeah, they're getting into the hentai cosplay. Hentai, look, there ain't no such thing as a hentai cosplay. Okay? You getting into hentai, you just doing hentai, okay? The only thing equal to hentai is porn. That's all it is. So you can come out the house looking like some peanut butter or some shit like that, but what is you advertising? And where your OnlyFans at? Because that's all it's going to be. You just trying to gin up some support, get some followers, and pay them monthlies so they can see you sitting up there bouncing around with bunny ears on and hoe clothes. You're just doing porn now. You're just a sex worker now. This ain't cosplay. This is porn. The fuck? You fucked it all up. Every time one of these chicks that say they're a cosplayer sets up an OnlyFans and they doing sexual stuff, you disrespect cosplayers. You bring the name of cosplayers down because you're just doing slut shit. That's all you're doing. You don't need to put geekdom on it because then it makes it something that it's not accessible to kids, is it? And I see that shit on Instagram, and it kind of turns my fucking stomach because, like, you're not this ain't cosplay. This is porn. You need to go talk to Vivid, Adam and Eve, or whoever the fuck is out there making porn nowadays and get yourself a contract because that's all you do. Don't try to soft pedal this shit to me. and stop besmirching geekdom with it. And that's all women coming into this shit seems to be using it for. Platform to throw out their activism and their hateful shit against men. Chicks in it to get attention, free attention from dudes that they think are sex starved and never had a woman before in their life. There are those there, but that ain't all of them. You know any fucking thing, most grown geeks have wives and children. They're not hairy palm, 400-pounders living in the basement, being sweaty, looking at the computer screen. Oh, those exist, but that ain't everybody. And then just people looking for position, just to get paid. Don't give a fuck about none of this stuff. They just want position. They just want to gatekeep. The chick at Amazon. They gave you that rings of power and the wheel of time and the next freaking literary abortion that she decides to do. Shit. Art, that used to be, the best kept secret about going to cons and stuff like that. Like afterwards, maybe people are in town, maybe they got a hotel. You can go to the hotel and hang out. It's just like any convention, be it video games, sales convention, it's insurance, cart monitors, any convention, people actually have hotel rooms for, right? Because they come to town for that convention. And after the convention, if you know some of these people, you can go to party with them at these hotel rooms, and people will probably be fucking. That's any convention. Any convention. It don't matter what it's about. Toilet parts, union, it don't matter. That shit happens. But it wasn't where Geekdom sets it apart. Geekdom actually plays that shit up. Like, Art, I want to go to BlairCon this year with Charles. I'm working out how to get that shit done, time frame and stuff like that, right? I want to go to BlairCon. One of the things I thought about, if I'm gonna hang out with Charles at BlairCon, who the hell is nigga gonna be trying to fuck? I ain't trying to fuck all these bitches. I'm trying to hang out with him. This nigga gonna be chasing ass. And I'm like, do I feel like being bothered? Because I can tell you this. My brother got some issues with some Baltimore chick. I don't think I want to be fucking with no Baltimore chick. A lot of chocolate. I don't think I need no issues. Dude, just saying. So I really have to think about it. I don't want to be bothered. Yeah, OF kill side boob cosplay. Yeah, that's always what it was. That's why they walk in the convention floor and doing so many laps. Half of them want you to see their costume that they did, that they put a lot of work into to make this accurate costume. The other ones actually walking the stroll looking for tricks tonight. And you think I don't know? This is how one of the cosplayers I know found her fucking husband. Tricking. Now, you call it what you want to. And just for the record, I'm not gay. I'm a lesbian. The dude ain't even attractive. He's not a handsome cat. He must got a lot of money wrapped around his little dick. Just saying. Yeah. Blue pills, metal bat on. Pill special. The blue pill special. Coming to a con near you. Oh, somebody finally gave me the dates. I just need to know what city is it actually in? Is it in Baltimore itself or what? I told somebody else about BlairCon. They're like, where the fuck is, where is that? I said, Black Nerd or whatever con. I don't know. Said I have to find out the rest of information from the Office of the Goddamn Law. So I actually know where to actually book tickets, nigga. It's happening in the city, right? City of Baltimore. I'm going there. I need to figure out where the closest the Army Navy store is. I think I'm gonna need some armaments. Well, that narrowed it down. Virginia is only how many miles across? God damn. Hyatt Regency, Crystal City, Reagan National Airport, Virginia. Thank you, Aquatech. Aquatech be on that shit. Thank you. Now I wrote that down. Now I actually have actionable information that I can actually look up because I didn't look it up, but I think if I put BlurtCon in a search on Google, I'm gonna get all kind of shit all over the country. What up, BTM? Hi. Oh, you can't be sorry you late. We're gonna have to spank you. You're gonna have to bend over and take that discipline. Just saying. Stand in the corner. Pat your booty cheeks. So for me, geekdom is open to everybody, right? I've said geekdom is a big tent, everybody comes in. What was not needed in geekdom to me is what some of these folks brought with them, which is all this fucking hatred and derision with the actual populace of geekdom, the actual geeks in geekdom, because that wasn't here with us. It wasn't. You brought that shit with you. It's a line from Dogma that Jason Lee's character Azrael says to the little troop of Jay and Bob and Chris Rock and Bethany and all that, right? And he tells them what in the Dogma Kevin Smith movie, Jason Lee is an angel, and he's actually a demon. He got sent down, right? And he's trying to bring about, apocalypse or whatever because he's tired of living in fucking hell. And Bethany says some shit to him about hell and what it is. And he tells her, do you know what hell is? And he goes on this rant explaining that hell was just the absence of God before you humans start coming there. Before you humans came there, it was just there. And if you weren't in the radiance, you understand what it meant to be outside of it. But when the first of you humans came there with all your internal decay and hate, you turned it into a suffering pit. Since the very first of you came there, begging to be punished. You made it what you hate. It didn't exist that way before you got there. You brought that shit. That's why I can point out when I say KK is a miserable bitch. Why can I say that? Well, look at Lucasfilm right now. Is it a happy place? Are they just happy to go to work and turn out some great products like they had been for fucking decades before her goofy ass ever stepped into a CEO chair? Put on her wedges and her The Force is Female shirt? No. I know people work at Lucasfilm. They love that place. Happy, big smile on their face. It's treated like kind of royalty around here, especially if you show up in a comic shop. Now you got to look at the motherfucker like, fuck y'all doing over there? I mean, what? Do you need to sneak me in? Like artists talking about ball bat. You need somebody to get the ball bat? Work on that. I gotta stop. Is it a happy place now? Fuck no. What about Disney? It look like a happy place now? Pixar, does it seem like it's a happy place? Somewhere you want to work? No. They brought that shit with them. And that's what's fucking up every IP and every property. That internal decay that they brought with them. Their disdain for the people who liked it. Their disdain for this is what they have to work on because this is what everybody likes now. So fuck it. I guess I'll just do it. That's what'll make this next season of The Witcher suck ass. Yeah, suck ass like that. Instagram picture of that dude blowing air bubbles into a cow's ass. Well, it helps make the milk come out. Yeah, I bet the fuck it does. Like a syringe, huh? You just using your mouth. No. You brought that shit with you. And which is why the response of most older geeks is that you need to fucking go. You know why? Because you can take that shit with you. Like a kid who jumped in the pool and then start pissing. Nigga, the fuck out the pool. You get everybody cloaked in this lemonade. No, you gotta go. You gotta go. You can't be here. You have farted in the car. We rolling down the windows. We putting your ass out on the side. That's why KK needs to go. That's why the chick over at Amazon, what's her name? Amanda Salky or some shit like that. That's why she needs to go. That's why Victoria Alonso over at Marvel needs to go. Because she was happy with Wakanda Forever. My boy Black Bane, Sam, finally watched Wakanda Forever. That motherfucker couldn't stop from texting me. Like, what the fuck? Oh my God, dude. I had to reach out to you for this. You were right in your review. I know. I didn't need a confirmation, but I knew. I was trying to warn you, motherfucker. One thing I can be is honest. Because most people ain't going to believe it anyway. So fine. No. He said he couldn't even finish watching that shit. He went and did something else. He started watching some other shit. It just said, yeah, I'm sitting here talking to you about this. I kept having stuff I wanted to text you, but that shit still just sitting there. Couldn't hold your attention, could it? Get the fuck out of here. Told you, I was worried about that movie. And the homework assignment I gave him, now match that up to Black Adam, which was the better movie to you. And which one got shit on, and which one's being propped up. And why? What up, Donnie Mac? So, like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. So that's the thing. Now, what did I watch this week? I did see Bad Batch this week, and I'm not happy. I think the review is up. I think the review is up. Yeah, I think the review is up. I believe it's up on Patreon. I believe it's up on Patreon. I thought I put it up on Patreon. I did record it. I did put it up on Patreon. I did clip it down. I think it's on the channel. I don't want to look it up right now because this internet connection is weak. But I was not impressed. I was bored. I was mad that I stayed up late to watch that shit because it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. Doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. I was mad that I did the review of this shit. Probably one of the shortest reviews I ever did. Because I had shit worth saying about it. Now, Dave, while I like Dave Filoni, part of what he does is pander in a way to these same people that's coming in because that audience has grown. The younger female audience has grown. It's more of them than us. And if you check out Attorney Dennis Sperling's recent shorts and Instagram posts, where he puts up at least black women talking about how they aborted the boy baby that she was going to have just to have girls, you could see why. So there is, and always has been, more females than males. And now all these young millennials were raised on geek stuff. So where do you think they all going to now? Hip hop and geek. There ain't much else. Donnie Mac said he binged Jack Reacher. Jack Reacher was good. That show was good. Season 2 is coming. And if you need something to watch before season 2 of Jack Reacher, go ahead and watch The Terminal List. You can binge that. That shit was good too. A slower burn, but it's good when it ratchets up. It's good when it ratchets up. So Dave, in his own way, he panders to his audience because he always puts a lot of female characters in this shit. It almost seems like every character that he creates and wants to highlight is a female character. It's just what it is now. And this is where I'm coming to with geekdom and understanding how it has changed and that it is not going backwards. It's not going backwards to the shit I like. Mm-mm. I understand comics in the industry to a point to understand that they always are fighting relevance. They're always fighting to stay relevant, keep people reading the book, and keep people wanting to buy it. And nowadays, it's more so keep people buying it. That's why it's events so often now. It used to be you get 3 events in a year. Now you got an event every 3 issues. Every 6 issues got to be some other fucking event because they're constantly like an organ grinder with their carnival pulling up, trying to get you into the tent to pay for it, to pay for the show. To me, that means they know that there's other shit that you can be watching, there's other stuff that you can be reading. Your time is limited, and they got a substandard product. So they got to keep giving you the glitz and the glamour to get you in there. And understand that's what glamour is. It's magic trick. Make you see halos around shit that ain't really real. The best of something that's actually crap. And King Parrish, yes, season 2 of Invincible is coming. Oh, that was greenlit soon as before season 1 was finished. Oh, that was coming. Because we need some of that tough love from Omni Man. Tough love. There ain't no tougher love than that, homeboy. God damn. So, like, share, subscribe, for stream if you feel so inclined. So, my piece that I make with Geekdom now is understanding that a lot of this stuff can be by me because it is, in fact, not made for me. They're not making any of these properties to speak to 40-year-old men or 40-year-old women. They're barely making them to speak to 30-year-old females or males. The age group below that, the 24-year-olds, maybe they care, maybe they don't. But there's no investment in it. That's for damn sure. They'll watch it like they'll watch a fucking nature show if they watch a nature show. Curious interest, but that's about it. It's a passive interest. Casual. Very casual. Yes, they'll buy t-shirts. Yes, they'll have jerseys and backpacks and all the rest of that shit, but they ain't really into it. It's just what the popular culture is right now. So they'll wear that. It's not an investment. But you hear these same fans talk about anime or manga. Oh, they all over that shit. All over it. Because that's the biggest thing going right now. Because they still concentrate on telling a story. Now, Arta Idmore is in here. He can tell me because he's watching more of this stuff than I am. There's not a lot of anime shows that I watch. Right? Why? Because just like Geekdom and comic books, I was watching anime since like the 70s, 80s. I've seen it change. I've seen it go through something that it was hard to get and hard to go after and find. You had to look to get it and stuff like that. The shit is everywhere and produced really quickly. You tell me, anything produced really quickly, would you want it? Do you think quality was paid in that product if it was produced really quickly? Give you a perfect example. I think most places in this country that I'm listening to folks are, except for Ian, who's in the UK, you have McDonald's and you have In-N-Out, right? Which gives you a better burger? Just a regular cheeseburger. Which one gives you a better cheeseburger? Matt Villainy said, that's where I'm at with Geekdom. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, Matt Villainy. I love Geekdom. I do. I love Geekdom. Right? I will be here. But I understand that I'm at the point now where some of this shit is not just going to be, it's probably not going to be my cup of tea. I can watch it objectionally, but I'm understanding right off the bat that it wasn't made for me. It wasn't made to speak to me at all. So I have to recognize what it is that they're trying to say and who they're trying to say this shit to. Who are they trying to capture with this shit? Because it ain't me. They had my money for 30 goddamn years. They your money old. Fuck you. Let me at your grandchildren. That sounds like a real pedo analogy, but it's probably accurate as fuck. So Herb jumped in. He said, In-N-Out, right? Aquatech, don't know. He said, never had In-N-Out. You don't know what you're missing. So, In-N-Out needs seasoning. Okay, here's the thing. While McDonald's is a bigger restaurant, bigger chain, more reach, it gives you a more substandard burger, cheeseburger, just a regular cheeseburger, than In-N-Out does. Why? In-N-Out, you can see them cooking the shit while you're rolling up. Because In-N-Out is made on that old school burger shop, McDonald's model. So you got the people in there with the paper hats on and the white aprons, and they sitting there cooking on the grill and cutting fresh tomatoes and cutting lettuce and real potatoes in the potato cutter, right as you watching them while you driving up to the window, like, nigga, they really cooking in there. Takes a little bit more time. It is not what you get at McDonald's, which is formularized, which is patty, salted patty, shot of ketchup, shot of mustard, 2 pickles, a little bit of onion, diced onion, throw it on the bread, throw it in the paper, throw it out the door. Stepped on. It's about that big. About that big. The In-N-Out cheeseburger is like that. Fresh lettuce, fresh whole tomato, not a slice, a whole tomato on there, ketchup, mustard, some seasoning on that shit, and it's out there ready for you, wrapped in some paper, ready to eat. It don't look like they stepped on the shit. They just threw it together, wrapped it in some paper, and sent it out the fucking window. If you go by any In-N-Out today in California, there's a fucking line out there. There's a line, at least 20 minutes or so, around the block. There is not an In-N-Out around here that does not have a line outside of that shit. You might as well say they cooking crack, because they doing some The Wire business. Okay, they doing some independent business. You sit in line at an In-N-Out. Sit in line at McDonald's, you can get that shit. What the fuck? Now, I'm not hating on McDonald's, but I understand the difference between quality and something that's produced quickly and something that people take their time and do correctly. The value is in taking your time and doing things correctly, not in just being the first one to run it out there as quick as possible because you're trying to make up for the shit that you have in volume. And people that just don't know any better. Yeah, Disneyland. Yeah, yeah. You need a fast pass for an In-N-Out burger if you're trying to get in and out of there in like 5 or 10 minutes. No. Friday night? Wednesday night? It's brake lights. It's brake lights. They get so bad. Look, you have never, I don't think any of you have ever walked up to a McDonald's and seen one of the people that work at McDonald's standing outside with a touchpad walking up the cars down the street taking their order. In-N-Out does that ridiculously. That's what they do. There's somebody standing outside before you even get to the damn speaker out there taking your order. Like you showing up for a car wash to get detailed and shit. What you want? You want that? Okay, we put that in there. Okay, thank you. And move on to the next car. They do business. They do business. And it's worth the wait. Because that shit tastes lovely. And every time I go to In-N-Out, I may get a burger and some fries. By the time I left there, I'm always thinking I should have got two. Should have got two of these motherfuckers. I should have got two. That was too good. I need another one. I don't eat that. You don't eat that much red meat, but when I want it, I might want it. Might as well just give me two. I never do it. Chick-fil-A is like that. Yeah, my regional swear by Chick-fil-A. He love the hell out of some Chick-fil-A. I'm like, I don't know anything about no Chick-fil-A. This shit sounds too expensive to me. There is a limit on how much I believe I should pay for a fucking burger, fish or otherwise. Like, you're gonna have to sell me on it. You're gonna have to sell me on it. There ain't one. There is a Chick-fil-A not a couple miles from me right now. I'd never go in that bitch. Never. You know, that's our regional here. That's the only time we had Chick-fil-A. Because he loved it. Yeah, brake lights all day. It's a red light. Red line. On that red line at the Chick-fil-A. We said Five Guys. Never had a Five Guys burger, but I know Five Guys up here that make burgers like a Nation's. Right? Herb knows what I'm talking about. If you're from California, you know what at least the Bay Area, you know what a Nation's is. Nation's giant hamburgers. Like, no bullshit. Meat, quarter pound burger, lettuce, tomato. You won't. Big ass fries. You'll be full of shit. Burger so big you gotta cut it in half and eat the rest later in the day. Meat coma. Like facts. Herb whole life raised on Nation's burgers. They like the good trap house. You can't go too far in that city without finding one. Not around here. They got them in some strategic locations. Even where I stay at, they got a Nation's tucked away in there. And they ain't the best cooks, but it's a Bay Area entity, right? So it's always some good ass pie. Always some good. They pride and joy is the pie. But these cooks and the staff move around from different places. So you might have seen some of these people at different places. More busier restaurants is like the training ground. They get to these little satellite spots and like, man, what you forgot what you was doing down in El Cerrito? You better cook this shit right. What the fuck? No, you know, getting to your populace, but god damn. What did Toya say? I love that it's a safe place for foodies. I love that this is a safe place for foodies. Yeah, don't say that shit too loud. You know, I got an issue with the word safe space. Safe word is okay. Safe space sounds way weak to me. Sorry. Yeah, she food trapping. Or you wrong. This place ain't been the same since you started foodie thirst trapping. Yeah, she was food trapping. Her and Malika ass. And here she go. Look, started fucking early, dude. Goddamn. Making coconut rice, black beans, tenderloin. Not sure if I'm gonna make gravy yet. I agree with no one. You better make some fucking gravy. That's what I had planned to have for breakfast today. Today I had planned to have steak and eggs for breakfast. I already bought the little they cut steaks. I was gonna make some steak and eggs. Either that or some chorizo and eggs. I woken up too fucking early. So I haven't had the breakfast that I wanted yet. And I gotta cook that shit because I'm not leaving, you know, my fucking steaks in the work refrigerator. You know, fuck, I mean all of that shit. And yes, I do know Fuddruckers too, Kentucky. Fuddruckers makes a good burger. They make a good burger. What are Ray Hama? The Hama Forces gracious. Appreciate you. So, Bad Batch, I wasn't liking. I wasn't impressed with last episode of Bad Batch. I wasn't. I also wasn't really impressed with the last episode of The Last of Us. I thought it was interesting take, but I didn't show up for all that shit. So I'm waiting for them to get back to the actual story tonight. I will do a watch. I can't say exactly what time I'll do the watch because I'm on call. But as I say, subscribe to the stream, click the bell on the stream. So when I drop something in my community tab that says, hey, you want to watch The Last of Us? You can jump on that stream and watch The Last of Us with me. But I can't commit to a time right now because I can get a call whenever, and that's what I got to go do. But I'm sure it will be 8. Why she got to do it? Because that's what she do, Malika. Thirsty food trapping. Lucky I can't think of shit I want to do in Texas, but shoot guns. Fuck with Coleon Noir. Otherwise, I visit Texas and try to seduce Toya into cooking some food for me. Got to see if it's all what it's cracked up to be. I'm just curious. Now, Last of Us wasn't shocking. Like I said, I'm from California. 2 men kissing is not surprising to me. 2 men with beards kissing is just gross, but I see that sometimes too. It's not that big of a deal, right? It was just a boring episode. Now, maybe I would have felt a different way about it if I had played the game. That, oh, this is all backstory from the game that I never had. But what difference did it make? This is the problem with some of this stuff and some of these people in Geekdom right now. They keep doing shit to try to shock people. Like everybody else doing in the world. You're not shocking anyway. Tell a decent fucking story and stop trying to go for shock factor. That's not the story. It's like I was talking to King of Hill And King of the Hill is my nickname for my HVAC guy, the HVAC supervisor. I was talking to him about some geek stuff and telling him it's like I don't care about characters being character sexuality or skin tone. What's important about it is what does it add to the character? How does it inform the character's viewpoint? But it's not a power. Being a black character is not your power. Being a bisexual character is not your power or anything. That's who gives a fuck. It's a story about who you are. And if all you are is a sexual preference, then you really ain't nothing, are you? If all you are can be dwindled down to, well, you're just this color, so you are now automatically every stereotype of somebody of that color, then you ain't shit. You are basically have been categorized as a non-person. That's not enough. How does you being this inform how you see the world or how the world interacts with you? That's what's important, not the fact that you are, because who gives a fuck? No, the shit is bothering the shit out of me. But also, like I said, I understand it ain't about me no more. It's about this next generation behind me, what they are into and what they like, and if this speaks to their sensibilities. But you listen to BGS long enough, you understand how society has been tweaking these children for the last 30 damn years. You understand this is probably what they think. This is what they're supposed to care about. Anything about a chick. Whatever's good for a female is what they're supposed to be into. Okay. Man, Villainy said Toya gonna have food ready for you. She agreed to that shit. I like a plate. I am a food connoisseur. I will eat your food. And if I don't like it, I'll be discreet about it. Yeah, Aquatech, that's exactly it. Geekdom, the next generation. I think that's the name of the stream. To boldly go where no geek has gone before. Geekdom, the next generation. Geekdom TNG. That's the name of the stream. Thank you, Aquatechy, for that one. Geekdom TNG. All right, I'm going to go ahead and drop this link now, just in case I get broadsided. And then we can go into this James Gunn stuff. I did my stream earlier in the week about James Gunn's announcement, and I pretty much said everything I had to say in that. Yeah, that was interesting, but so the fuck what? The only thing I'm actually interested in seeing is if an authority movie materializes and what I'm expected to see. And the Swamp Thing, that's it. Swamp Thing could be interesting because I remember the old 1980s Adrian Barbeau Swamp Thing movie. And I kind of like the character of Swamp Thing. He's interesting to me. I think DC would do a better job with Swamp Thing than Marvel has done with the Man Thing. But the Man Thing is in it like an idiot. But like I told you guys before, with Disney Marvel, anything big and green has to be goofy. So that's something they want to sell. I guess they want to sell Man Thing plushies, not understanding that the Man Thing is something that is scary to people, not something that you need plushies for. So Disney Marvel doesn't do good with this big green brutes. They turn them all into dumbasses. Groot, Drax, the Hulk, Man Thing. Need I say more? So, oh, forgot fucking She-Hulk. Thankfully, and then I remembered, unfortunately. Yeah, food and geekdom will come. Yep. Like a vampire. All I need is an invite. I will show the fuck up. So the rest of this stuff that James produced or announced, all these no name shows and stuff like that, that'll probably be the stuff you see first, the quickest. Remember what I just said? Whatever came out the quickest is it quality? I don't know. How long are you waiting for that next season of House of the Dragon? How long are you waiting for that next season of The Boys? Are those good shows? And why? They take their time with it. They ain't just rushing it. They're not worried about you running away. They know you put them out, they'll be there. You have to make it good so they stay. Now, the only exception to this right now is this Acolyte show by KK. It's not taking a long time because it's quality. It's taking a long time because she's stalling to get that shit done. Because of how many rewrites and fuck ups it's had. And it still ain't gonna be done. They're still gonna be dealing with this bitch next year. If she actually leaves, like they're supposed to be saying that she's supposed to leave like August after Indiana 5 comes out, whatever, just let me know. I'll be there like Snoop Dogg in the X video, the exhibit video X, sitting up in the cheap seats eating popcorn, just waiting. Prove it. Because I don't think she's going to leave. Not what she's supposed to. So, with her hands involved in it, that show is crap already. And it's taken a long time for it to come out. It's been about 2 years now. That's the exception to the rule. It's not taking a long time because it's quality. It's taking a long time because it's shit. It's a stall tactic. Biding time. Because that was the last thing. Once that was done, her ass was gone. Yeah, no reason to stay. And no reason for them to keep her and keep paying her. That shit's got drug out longer than my dick. So, we'll see. Nobody likes to talk to me now. So what else is there? The diversity dance card with the James Gunn stuff. I see that as trying to be safe with James. All that stuff he announced is, like I said, it's just a diversity dance card. He's just filling out that and trying to hit all the bases to hit all those new young people and hit some of the old people and throw some of his own shit in there. Becoming. She is the herpes. Syphilis. She's full blown. Full blown. I say she has a cancer. Trying to get her ass into remission. Trying to chemo her ass out of there. We'll see if it works or if she comes back more aggressive. Because she has been nothing but a blight on Star Wars. There's no bigger architect of fucking failure in Star Wars other than her. And every time something comes out from Star Wars that she's done, it makes George Lucas's shitty movies even look better. Because as much as people didn't like the Attack of the Clones and stuff like that, episodes 2 and 3, or episode 2, they like that shit now. How you like it now? I mean, Kumo D out in this bitch. Looking a damn sight better. Even this garbage movies is winning now. Ooh. What up, JT? How'd it go yesterday? We saw you put up the post. And what was it? Mission Comics? If I wasn't working, I would have came to that shit, you know. I support. And I miss being in a comic shop regularly. It was a weird thing, you know. That is so weird to me. I miss that shit. I never thought that either, Mad Villainy. I never thought they were terrible either. I didn't. Even at the time when they came out, people were talking about, oh, George lost to George's assistant. I think, it's George. He can do whatever the fuck he want with this shit. He made it up, not you. Shut up. You gotta like the shit. He hopes you do, but it's not required. Turns into a super fun site. Yeah, she is the fucking death touch on anything Star Wars, man. And this is how bad it is. My boy, King of the Hill, right? He watched Book of Boba Fett because he found out from another tech that I do this show. I should have sent him the thing that I was doing it now. When he started asking me about some stuff, and he said, "Yeah, I went ahead and watched Book of Boba Fett. That wasn't good." I told you. He said, "Yeah, you. I remember you telling me that I had to watch it myself, but yeah, that wasn't good. I couldn't finish that." I said, "No, it wasn't good." I said, "But as bad as it was, Obi-Wan was worse." He said, "Oh shit." Don't watch that shit. Don't watch it. I said, Obi-Wan almost got me finished with Star Wars altogether. That was a big letdown. And I meant that shit. But I told him a little bit about it and how from the second episode, I was like, this is not straight. But I watched the whole thing completely out. It wasn't proven wrong. And I told him to check out Andor. Andor was good. Three episodes slow burner, 3-episode format. But it was good. Nobody would notice it though. because they had already punched out after Obi-Wan. Like, I'm fucking done, dude. First Boba Fett, now Obi-Wan. Fuck y'all. No, let me take that back. First Han, then Boba, then Luke, then Obi-Wan. That bitch went after each one of them. She the woman on the wall with a sniper rifle, just picking them off. All your favorites going down. Yeah, on program like a motherfucker. One Way Out. You know what that scene reminds me of now, Aquateki? The One Way Out is fucking the legitimate fucking geeks trying to escape from Star Wars with KK. Trying to get her out. One way out. The door, bitch. Yeah, you better get the fuck on program. But it's the same thing. That's why you look at this stuff. It's the same thing everywhere. The same kind of mentality in every IP. Any IP that you think is failing and is not good, is not what you remember it to be. Look at it and you'll find some chick back there calling the shots. And usually does not like the fan base, does not like geek. Don't like the material. That is apparent in those chicks that's running the Witcher franchise. I like Liam Hemsworth. I'm sorry you're going to have to hold that L. It was a good opportunity for you to step in after Henry Cavill. But, yeah, you're going to be holding that one. That show is about to bomb. I don't even watch the shit. I know it's going to bomb. I can feel it. Feel it in the ether. Like, that's going to be bad. They on social media talking shit about who? Ooh. So sad. So sad. Shut your fucking mouth. Yeah, you check that after Obi-Wan. Look, yeah, I got my check too. Like, waiter, yeah, we done. You want to? Nah. No dessert. Fuck the rest of this entree. I'm out. Bring me my check. I gotta go. It's the feminist one-way hero killer gauntlet. Yeah. It's called fisting. Well, I don't know. My thing has always been, if you never liked this shit, you don't need to be here because nobody asked you to come. Nobody asked you to come. You didn't have to be here. And for me, I don't think you have to be a fan to write or work on this stuff. You don't have to be. It helps. But you don't have to be. Because John and Dave are fans too, and they're making some moves that I'm not actually okay with. Because they're fans. They're super fans. But they got some takes I don't agree with because they're too fanboying. Too much fanboy. But being a fan helps you understand the fan base, what they want to see. Like, why is it that when Henry Cavill came out and said that he's going to do Warhammer 40K, everybody was on board with that shit? Because Henry Cavill is a fan of Warhammer 40K. And he's a fan, proven, of accuracy in the properties he gets involved with that are geek related. He didn't do The Witcher just because it was something that was thrown to him. He did The Witcher because he loved the character and the world. He knew the character and the world. That's why he wanted to do it. When they started deviating too much, what did he do? He wanted to get off it. That was in his contract. Now, another one that comes in there is Christopher Lee as Saruman in The Lord of the Rings. Why did he do it? Because he fucking knew it. He knew that shit backwards and forwards. Out of his own mouth in an interview, I heard him say he used to read that book series every year. He knew everybody's parts. He did it because he loved it, not just because they needed some white, tall British actor. No, he did that shit because he wanted to. And Christopher Lee is a scary dude. He was. R.I.P. So being a fan helps because you can have some respect for the material. It's not required, but it helps. Because hopefully you understand what the fan base actually wants, what the fan base is actually looking for, and who the fan base actually is. All this soft pedal to females, look, man, there's not a lot of stuff that I can say that females like that's not attached to a dick. A lot of stuff they get into is only for because there was some guy they liked that was into it. Now, this can be said for guys too. Don't think it's just one sided with me. It's not one sided. I look at people on the whole as fucking idiots, right? So it is what it is. King Paris said, "Is Jason Momoa really going to play Lobo?" I don't fucking know. That was what the talk is, but he ain't came out and said shit, so it remains to be seen. Said the event was good, awesome. I never been to that shop in the Mission. Never have. I told y'all that's one of the things I do in any city. A couple of places I gotta find. Comic shop, pool hall, gun range. Maybe not in that order. Comic shop, pool hall, and a gun range. I gotta know where they are. Then I know if I can actually hang out in that town. He looks more like Lobo. He does look more like Lobo than Arthur Curry. And shout out to Dr. Tia-san for even pulling my coattail on that because I wasn't thinking about that shit at all because Jason Momoa looks straight up like Namor. He looks like Namor. Never looked like, Aquaman at all. But I bought him as Aquaman just because, damn, that's Jason Momoa. Yeah, he'd look like a beast as Aquaman. I'm good. No, Aquaman's blonde and blue-eyed. He'd never been dark-haired and scaled and buff like some melanin in him. No, he live under the sea. Where he can live under the sea. Nah, bruh. Nah. So, either way, yeah, he looks more like Lobo. I think he'd probably have more fun being Lobo. I can't say he didn't seem like he was having a good time being Aquaman, but he'd probably have more fun being Lobo. But what I know of actors, they usually have more fun getting to play kind of villainous characters or not so cut and dry good guys because they can actually flex their acting range a little bit because villains get to do shit that, traditionally hero characters don't. Like be an asshole, push a kid off a balcony or some shit and laugh about it. He said Boba had 3.5 good episodes. Man, if you say the good episodes was him seeing Luke, him climbing out the Sarlacc pit, and him and Mando fighting, I'd agree. Because a lot of the rest of that shit went on for too fucking long. I was really into Boba Fett learning the history of the Tuscans. I thought that was actually interesting because you never knew much about the Tuscans. But him getting his ass kicked by the smallest female Tuscan, get taught how to fight was stupid to me. Them making a motorcycle gang with them, out of them and getting them to rob trains and shit was it was interesting. But the missed opportunity for that was when Boba said he had forces and it was only Boba, Fennec, and them little fucking mods that I can't stand. And that they had some people that they can call in for help. I really thought he was going to go out into the Dune Sea like Paul Muad'Dib and come back with hella fucking Tusken Raiders. That was a missed opportunity. But he didn't. Oh, they was all slaughtered. That was one group of them. It's a whole planet. That was where I thought that should have went. That in a Dances with Wolves kind of way, he became one of their tribes. He became one of their tribes. So that means they all got his back. He should have rolled back into Mos Eisley with fucking Tuskens and Banthas. Shit. That would have been awesome. It's not what I got. All right. Missed opportunity. Missed opportunity. But I did like seeing him and Mando Din Djarin fighting together. That did look like some desperado shit to me with the camera moves and stuff, because I do like Robert Rodriguez. I don't know what the fuck happened with this show, but I do like Robert Rodriguez. I consider that a one-off because his Spy Kids movie was better than some of the shit I saw in this. And we're coming up on the anniversary of this channel, or the anniversary of this reviewing stream by the end of this month, 52. So yeah, we got four more for the 1 year. And I was thinking about that the other day, that I want to go back and watch Battle Angel Alita again. Right? That's the video that I started my reviews with, right? I want to go back and watch that again because that was really good. Can't tell me that the same person that did that one did this Boba Fett show. And it was so lacking. And Battle Angel Alita, being really good, has not gotten a sequel yet because he wanted to do it, and Disney don't want him to do it. Take that shit from me. Why is it so cold in here? Why is the heater not on? Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. Still need one more contributor. Y'all give me half a second so I can make sure this heater is on, because it is freezing in here. One sec. Well, let me give you something to watch, so you don't have to stare at an empty chair. You don't stare at an empty chair. I only need 30 seconds. Hold on. Ugh. If I didn't know better, I'd say somebody was fucking with me. Fucking heater turned down to 56. I didn't have that shit turned down to 56. I'm not waiting for the temperature to drop to 56 for the heat to come on. Get out of here. I won. Appreciate you, One Eye One. He will make number 10. I wonder if I should tell y'all now or later, but after the first, it will be, or after year 4, after 52, it'll be 15 contributors. Price people out. There we go. Heat. All right. Appreciate you, One Eye One. I will give you the guts and butts. Appreciate you.
Double up. 3 or 4 times. I ain't telling no lies. Run it up. Never let a hard time on the
All right. So what else we got? So what is it next week? What's today? The 5th? Well, it's not next week. What is the 17th? We got another week. Yeah, next Friday. Not this coming Friday. Next Friday. We got the Quantum Mania. And I like the little bit of buzz that Quantum Mania has right now. People are actually interested in seeing this movie more than they were for the first two Ant-Man movies, which I don't know. I guess I can attribute it to Jonathan Majors being in it or his possible portrayal of Kang. But that seems like what people are wanting to show up for to see. Outside of the fact that Ant-Man getting his ass kicked in that last trailer, that Marvel is, I guess, doing a decent job of promoting this movie for people to get out there. And it's kind of that kickoff to this next phase of Marvel, phase 5. And all this unrepleted splendor, whatever. We'll see. I'm interested in seeing it. Like I told you guys, I got my tickets already. I'm excited to go. I am excited to see the show and see what goes on in it. I really do want to see if Kang and what is it? Forgetting her name. Janet Van Dyne was getting it on in the microverse. Is that going to be her ex boo, her angry black boo? Yeah, Skillmonger, what's up? People want some shit to go down. Yeah, people want people want a decent fight. Put it that way. Why do you think that the hype for seeing Ant-Man and Kang fighting, which sounds like a no-brainer fight, is more exciting than the hype for Black Panther Shuri fighting Namor? Because as much as they try to stomp that shit out, masculinity is needed, and people respond to that. That's where you get the audience back. Most things that have come out that had that masculine tint to it has done better. Outside of all this, vagina worship and massaging, those shows and movies have been shit. But everything that's gone away from that has done a hell of a lot better. Which is why I'm curious about this Last of Us show to see where it's going to go after that last episode. I'm thinking it's going to have to go hardcore into some masculine shit. People fighting, getting shot, something. It's going to have to do something to shock people. So they say, the food good when you do a little jig to it. Dancing the jig in the kitchen, y'all. What up, Beastly? Said the danger room is open. Thanks for reminding me again. I didn't make that opening. Just over here enjoying the fruits of my labor while I listen. Throw some pictures up on Instagram, Toya, so I can thirst after it. I think it's make it or break it for Marvel. Oh, yeah, Skillmonger. I would agree. It is a little bit of that make it or break it time for them. They're going to have to put up a shut up because those last outings have not been good for Marvel. And it's just kind of the way of things, right? It's like, I appreciate Marvel movies for how good they are now because I've watched them when they were bad. right? I watched them when they were bad, so I like that feeling of seeing them come up, right? But you cannot maintain that position forever. Eventually, you got to see them come down the mountain too. You got to see them fall off, get lazy, get take the audience for granted and shit like that, and get all the rest of the people trying to feed off them because they know that's where the money is. That's why all the activists came over. Jessica, Miss Piggy Gal. That's why they came and got jobs and fucked up characters and stories. Now, the one good thing I can say about Bob Iger being back at Disney is that he will hold people's feet to the fire. I do believe that because he ain't there to lose no fucking money. And he doesn't have the problem of anybody being there to undermine him that Chapek was having because it was Bob doing it. Bob was a shrewd businessman. Iger is a shrewd businessman. That's how he got Lucasfilm. That's how he got Marvel. That's how he got Pixar. Some shrewdness. And that's why Chapek got kicked out in the middle of the night. Some shrewd shit. So, at the very least, I can say that I know Iger's going to be on, y'all need to make me some motherfucking money. Hit these streets, get my ends. Right? Now, I don't think Kevin has a lot of time to do that shit. I don't. I think he one serious fuck up away from having to leave that position and somebody else stepping up and taking it. And we know who. Kevin Feige has been in entertainment and stuff for a long fucking time. A long time. And producing bombs like this, Wakanda Forever and some shit, it doesn't track with what he did in the first 2 years. The first 3 phases. Doesn't track. So my thinking is the reason that they ended this last phase so abruptly is because it was going down in so many fucking flames. To use another Wire reference, we rebranding. We just rebranded it. We just called it Phase 5. Because we got to close the door on that Phase 4. Nobody liking that shit. They eating that alive on the internet. Close that door. Let's move on with the new stuff. Even though it might be the same shit. Because I ain't heard no word of them canceling an Echo or Ironheart show. So what do you think you're going to get? Yes, no one. That's the whole joke of this whole thing about Chapek being fired. Iger was the one who set up all that shit. Right when we got to the point that Chapek is actually making some serious moves, he actually got the table set for KK to get booted the fuck out of here. All of this stuff is set. Motherfuckers come in and kick his ass out of there. It took him that long to get planted so he can take his swing. He was wound up for his swing. He kicked his legs out from under his ass and got him out of there. And some people smarter than me have done some of this research behind the scenes, and you can see it was a whole bunch of other shit going on with Disney and they board, which I told you I was never a fan of anyway. They sound like they was on some bullshit because half of them was siding with Kathleen Kennedy. Like, why? The fuck is your problem? Do you not like to make money? Yeah, Cane Cage ain't never cold. Hellfire ain't never cold. Nigga. never cools off. On ever. Yeah, phase 4 is over with. So that's part of the hype for this Ant-Man because it's supposed to be the first start of phase 5. Now, technically it wasn't, but now it is because he had to get out there and do some damage control and wanted you to know that this was ending. This was starting something new. That other shit was over. Okay, whatever. Yeah, Chapek was, look, Chapek was the one who has John and Dave with the authority they have right now. That they actually operate as the producers and the heads of Lucasfilm without having that title. Chapek set the table for her ass to get kicked out. He's the one who finally got the board on board with him, and he was there setting the stuff up that she has to go. And he started doing exactly what we were talking about here, going after for all the money that's being wasted. How long has this fucking show been going on and not getting done? He was the one that had George and John and Dave come in and try to help her ass. And then she kicked them all out of there and then try to redo the shit back the way it was. And then he had to go back and reassert with her like he is her fucking boss. No, bitch. Look, you're going to finish this fucking show and now you got to go. No more new shows. No more new books. None of this HR Republic crap. Nope, nope, nope. That's all done. You got one project to do and you're done. You're done, girl. Clean out your desk afterwards. Bob Chapek's at that table, not Iger. She was on her last leg, actually, when he got the boot. One more delay in that fucking Acolyte show, and she was out of there. It was going to be taken from her. It was going to cancel that shit altogether. Contract to be damned. He's also behind, I believe, helping get Gina back. Supporting John and Dave in that. He supported them and giving them the power that's grandfathered in. So even after he left, Iger can't come in and do anything about that. John and Dave have control over Lucasfilm and Star Wars. Can't come back and strip it from them. That's why the Acolyte is the last show that has KK's fingerprints on it. After that, everything is John and Dave. With the exception of Andor. I think Andor season 2, she's still on there as a producer, even though it seems like the guy who's directing that show had more to do with the show than she did. To keep her ass off the set. That's why it was good. It had its feminist sprinkles in there. But the chicks that was in there was actually doing something. It wasn't just there talking shit to grown men for no reason at all. To prove how much better they are than them at doing nothing. So yeah, Chapek was doing a lot. Chapek was doing a lot. Keep fucking up and calling him pig. He's not a pig. Peck. To kick her out. Yeah, and he was making boss moves. It was a boss move. He was being a boss with her ass. And not, oh well, shut like, okay, fuck this. Look, I am in charge. He came in there, he was starting to get his big dick energy up. And that's why everybody over there at Disney was getting all in their feelings. Because the money, the math wasn't mathing, and he's pointing the shit out. He a numbers guy. Can't sustain this shit. Y'all gonna get fired, and we're gonna clean out all the rest of you motherfuckers. He made a lot of moves, kicked out a lot of people to get to that point. And then they finally, once those layoffs was gonna come, they got rid of his ass. Because from what I understand, some of the behind the scenes shit that he was doing, with people wanting to get on the board to change the board in another direction. Yeah, the rest of the motherfuckers on the board didn't want that shit. That's why they got rid of his ass quickly. expeditiously to put the cap on all that because he was making boss moves. He was coming with that big lightsaber energy. Shit, she got more extra lives than a dead cat. No shit, dude. She got save points. This bitch been here before. If I had a big studio, I'd hire Chapek. I'd hire him. Depends on what. I'm not worried about people being all friendly and cuddly with everybody. Every personality is not like that, right? Like, use a construction sense. You can have a crew of 10 guys or 10 people, males and females, right? If you work on a deadline, is it more important to you to meet your deadline or to be cute and cuddly with everybody? Everybody likes you, but you bullshit around, but you never make your deadlines or your goals. Or do you make it there by a little bit? Or is it better to understand that shit needs to get done first and play afterwards? But production matters. How much money you're losing this company actually matters because it actually is real money. If you sour the fan base, the paying fan base against us, how do we make money? You're driving them all away. Why do I have you out here on my corner pushing my product and driving customers away? How do you think you're going to get paid? No fucking way. So in that position, you don't have the option of being cute and cuddly. Fuck that. Fuck cute and cuddly. I'll get to cute and cuddly when you put us back in the black and not running in the red behind your misbehaving, hateful attitude. No, I'll get cute and cuddly when we can kick back. But since we behind the 8 ball right now, this ain't cute and cuddly time. No, forget that shit. You want a hug, go to your mama. So I'm not here for that shit. This is work, and this is about production. That's job one. To tell you this much, if I was actually a stockholder in Disney, like to enough shares where they could actually hear my voice, I'd have said that shit a long time ago. Why the fuck is she still here? I want her gone for my fucking 10 shares. Like, you losing me money. Because that's what it comes down to. You're losing me money. I don't want to buy this shit. I'm a stockholder. I don't even want to watch this shit. I'd really be livid then. Oh my God. And you can't get rid of her? What's the problem? Who she got pictures of? You got a blackmail file on you? You better get rid of that bitch. Yeah, play after. But see, Toya, that's the Gen Xer. That's the Gen Xer in me. This is what they don't want anymore. They don't want people anymore who have this old school understanding that you work first, you play later. These motherfuckers want to play all day. None of the work. But they want the accolades like they put in 10 hours. Fuck you. Yeah, you were here for 8. You fucked around for 5 of them. No. You're getting 3 hours pay. But I was here for 8. But you only worked for 3 hours. So you're only getting paid for 3. Fuck the other 5. That's what you did. You fucked them off. Entitlement. I don't get that shit. I really don't. Because I can say this. I've said it before. I don't even know of a black woman. Well, she might have. If a black female was in KK's position, would she have been there that damn long? I don't think so. And that's a tough one. I'm thinking like maybe they might be a little afraid of her playing a race card if they fired her abruptly, so maybe they would drag their feet on it. But look, you couldn't sit up there and lose that kind of money with it. But then finding out who's on the board, oh well, it was just Vagina Vision all the way around. These look like the same people that Tyler had told me about when he took the interview at Lucasfilms, and the 5 people sitting there interviewing him don't even like Star Wars and don't even have a favorite. Like, then why the fuck are you interviewing me for Lucasfilm? Oh my god, dude. They hired you for this? which I have a reputation for being unapproachable at work. I say I always look busy. Go figure. Yeah, no shit, Toya. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. My supervisor came into work one day last week, and these cabinets that he had sitting there was all put together. And he said, he came in, he saw me, he said, "Who the hell?" I said, "No, I know who did that." Yeah, because I'm always busy. I am always busy. That is a virtue that I have built up over time. I know how to keep myself busy and get work done because there's always something to do. Whether you know your job or not is the difference, because everybody don't see the things that need to get done, and not everybody is the type of person to get things done. Some people just like talking about things that need to be done. I like getting shit done. Wonder if there'll be another Cisco and Ebert. No. You know why? YouTube. YouTube. There are established media critics for all of this stuff. There are mainstream established critics for all of this stuff. But a lot of people, like the ones of you in here, you might not listen to their asses. You might listen to somebody like me on YouTube giving you a review because we actually know the material and not just like, I don't like his jokes because he said something about gay people. So every movie he does is bad. Bad. That's what happened with Eddie Murphy with Cisco and Ebert. They didn't like him because he made jokes about gay people. So fucking what? When did they become a sacred cow? So every movie he put out, he shit canned it. Every one. That's a gatekeeper. They ain't trying to be fair. They want their feelings massaged. Me reviewing a movie, I'm trying to at least be fair with the shit. And truth be told, I might know a lot about it. I might know a little bit about it. I might know nothing about it. But I'm going to give you my fair, everyday, regular dude opinion on this stuff. And I'm not trying to get you to watch it or not watch it necessarily. If it's good, I want you to watch it. That's just a given. If it's good, I want you to watch it because I share, right? If I like something, something's good, I want to share it with you so you can go watch it and enjoy it too. But that's me having an understanding of who you are from watching, because I build this every time I interact with you guys, right? I built that database of understanding who you are. That's psychology, baby. I don't turn it off. It's always been there, even before going to school, right? Now, I may get you to want to watch the things that are good, but I don't tell you not to watch certain things because they're bad. You might find something in it that I didn't see. You might like it more than I didn't like it. It's up to you. It's your choice, just like it's my choice. And I pay for it every time because I buy my own tickets. So either way, I'm hoping it's good for my money, but other times it can be, well, that's a waste. That was thrown away. That was a shit movie. But in today's standards, Cisco and Ebert is Rotten Tomatoes. That's what people listen to. A fucking meter about tomatoes. And I still don't understand that shit for the life of me. Is the tomatoes, how many tomatoes you would throw at the screen? Or tomatoes is just a unit of measurement just for saying how good it was. I don't fucking get it. But I'm not into this generation where, or this popular idea culturally, that I can only go places that everybody else reviewed and said they liked. It has 5-star ratings. So Fucking what? I don't watch that. I don't look at that shit. Somebody I know said that it was good food, or it looks like something I want to try. I don't give a fuck what Yelp said. Who the hell is Yelp? Who are these people on here? Because I know how the Yelp hustle goes. I'll get a free meal if I complain. Fuck you. You own a restaurant and you go into other restaurants giving them bad reviews? Trying to drive out the competition, huh? Go fuck yourself. I like when we watched the Last of Us episodes, and even though they had the gay scene, we understood the fellowship and the mentality, and there was no malice or bias, but understood to let the audience judge. Yeah, I told you that, BMT, and you and Arya popped smoking ghost on my ass. I thought y'all was still in there. I'm talking, and like these motherfuckers left. But I told you on that stream, gay or straight, a relationship is a relationship. Look, if you want to engage in a romantic relationship with somebody of the same sex or a different sex, it's gonna be tough because people are difficult. It's just what it is. Look, it don't matter. It's gonna be the same shit because here's the thing: they are always them, and you are always you. You bring your bullshit with you. It don't matter if it's the same sex. It doesn't matter if it's opposite sex. Relationships are hard. That's just the way they are because people are difficult. So don't think you found some fucking Shangri-La just because, well, I divorced myself from men and I just love my girl Bethany. All right. Bethany know how to fix a water heater? She gonna lift this motherfucker 4 feet? No, she's not. Because she don't do that shit. Now, as far as two gay dudes, look, every time I think of this, I think of my homeboy. God damn it, am I gonna forget his name? I can't believe that. Dennis and Charlie. That's what I'm thinking of. Dennis and Charlie. Two gay men in San Francisco that I work with. Dennis was the one who gave me the funny story that he can tell if there's a straight guy playing gay because he have shit in his drawers. Because he said straight men don't wipe their ass. It was funny as fuck to me. Funny as fuck to me. Dennis was cool, right? Other little brother, who's a gay guy, he's a brother. Told you this was one of my exes, one of her besties. That motherfucker cook his ass off. If I was gay, I'd hook up with him, but he wouldn't want me because I'm black. He don't like black dudes. But given his experience with him, I can understand why. But it's just relationships with people. It's just relationships with people, and relationships with people are difficult. There ain't a therapist right now looking at his client book with his appointment set up for the next week that don't understand relationships are not hard. Not even just romantic ones. Your work relationships can be difficult. Your familial relationships can be difficult. Relationships with other people are difficult. It's just what it is. I told y'all before, they make smart watches, not smart people. They ain't making them no brighter. No. They make them more in their fucking feelings about everything. Every set of ears needs cotton balls and some beats on to keep the oppression of the outside world from coming in and say, hey, you fucked up. Fix it. Come on, man. I let people have what they have. I figured that shit out a long time ago. It doesn't matter to me. You happy having a relationship you have it. I don't have to agree with it. It's like I don't have to agree with the heterosexual one. I told y'all before. I had a friend who was all gonna get married to some chick. I was like, I wouldn't marry that bitch. Oh, you don't like her? No. But I'll have to because I'm not marrying her. But I tell you this, she fuck you up, it's gonna be a problem. I'll be here after it's over. I was here before. Alpha and Omega, homeboy. So that's just what it is with me in relationships. I understand relationships can be difficult, hetero or homo. So I don't look at it much differently. If you want to try that, that's your choice. Knock yourself out. I don't think you got to beat me over the head with your shit like it's supposed to be something that I just have to accept. I don't have to accept that shit. It's like somebody bringing you out a shoe drenched in A1 sauce on a plate. You have to eat this. No, the fuck I don't. I don't eat shoes. But it has A1 on it. I like A1, but I don't have to eat A1 on a fucking shoe. Fuck out of here. You have to accept it or you're a hater. Call it what you will. You won't call me eating this motherfucker. I finally critique with you through films, brother. My favorite show, Theater 3000. Yeah, Mystery Science Theater 3000. Yeah, that was a good show. That was a good show. Bill tolerated a lot of that, man. Susan contributed nothing but complaints. It took 2 years. Yeah, that look, I told you, BMT. That's what I say that shit for the Patreon stream. Bill got on my fucking nerves. He didn't bring shit to the table. Shit to the table, but dick and complaints. Put it this way, y'all. This is just a relationship, right? This is just a relationship. It's just two people in a relationship together. I find you on my property stuck in a trap. I have home, food, protection, all the rest of that shit already. I bring you in. I offer you a meal. You come in and have a meal with me. And once you're inside, you see how good it is here. You basically come on to me. 3 years later, you trying to tell me what our shit should look like. Because we had sex? What's this our shit? This is our place, and I want to do this, and we're gonna have dinner parties. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? That was irritating. Irritating as fuck. And 7 years later, the motherfucker didn't produce anything but goddamn strawberries. And erections, apparently. Like he kept the dude from being alone, so that meant a whole hell of a lot. Nigga, it didn't matter to me at that point that this was two men in a relationship together. No, it didn't matter. You know why? Because it's the same shit you would have heard from a female. Are you fucking kidding me? I pull your ass out of a pit that you stuck in. I bring you into my house, and because you had sex with me 2 years later, you telling me what we gonna do in our place? It's not our place. I lived here before this shit ever popped off. This is my family's place. It was my place before, it's my place after. It is not yours. I don't give a fuck how much sex you gave me. It's not yours. And you don't get to tell me how to run the shit just because you showed up and gave some ass. Literally. Fuck you. That shit was annoying the fuck out of me. It was. And now I can see, and this is all about The Last of Us, y'all. I can see how they skirted around what made him so sick all of a sudden. How did he all of a sudden be the younger one, but then he got really old really quickly? And they never even addressed it. Like, what happened? I'm like, dude, is this supposed to be Philadelphia? Is that what I'm getting? Am I getting Tom Hanks and Antonio Banderas? Where he just getting old and sickly for some reason or another? Do you mean to tell me these dudes surviving the plant zombies, but he might have gave this dude the hive? Huh. Interesting. But they don't mention it. Get the fuck out of here. That should irritate the hell out of me. Because I wouldn't tolerate that from anybody. And that's how I look at things. Automatically, whatever the situation is, I reverse it to see would it be the same on the other side. That's how I find the truth of it. The ridiculousness of these two men in a relationship together could be seen the same way as a man and a woman in a relationship together. You could reverse the roles and just say the woman had the house and all the rest of the stuff, and she rescued this dude from a pit. He gave her some sex, and then 2 years later, he talking about what we gonna do with this. It would still play the same way. Fuck you, this is mine. This is not your house. This is my house that I've protected and defended for more years than you've been here. Fuck you. We ain't putting up them drapes. And we not repainting it. You want to be more comfortable? Move your ass across the street. Completely empty house, decorated how you feel. What up, Arya? The chocolate witch with the lips is in here. Watch yourself. It's Valentine's Day. Your husband gonna be all on your ass. Yeah, Beastly. And this was the thing. I pointed that shit out too, Beastly. The motherfucker didn't want to get married to him until 16 years later when he was getting ready to die. I'm like, what kind of bullshit is that? Nigga, what? Now you want to get married? So you was happy living in sin for 16? Shut up, man. Nah, fuck you. That was some bullshit. I thought that was bullshit. That was, in essence, relationship-wise, what that was is some chick, some hot, been out there chick. No, perfect example. This was Forrest Gump getting laid by Jenny after Jenny been out there in the streets and got the bug. Now she want to give Forrest a piece, live on his farm, have him a little baby, and get married while she die off from all the wild shit she had already been doing. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here with that goofy shit. That'd be like Jenny coming into my mama's house and telling me to move her drapes. I made this money, Jenny. What did you do? Getting high, fucking everybody. Get the fuck out of here. That's what that was. Dude came in, gave him a little good dick, his first experience being a gay man, and now he get to run the roost. Topping from the bottom. That's what he got to do. He got to be in charge because he gave him some dick. Get the fuck out of here. No. Thinking you get to be Mr. Dick on delivery, but you don't get to run shit. But them lips. Yeah, and that's what he was doing. That's what Bill was doing. Bill was automatically entitled to half his shit after 3 years and one sex scene. Fuck you. All these houses, and you trying to redecorate his house. Get the fuck out of here, dude. No. Yeah, pure strag entertainment. It wouldn't have played no different if it was a chick. Nothing. You could see it playing the same way if it was a chick. And that's at base why I say it's always a relationship. It don't matter if it's homo or hetero. It don't matter. It's only two types on the planet. I can keep making up derivations, but it's still the same shit. People trying to figure out how to deal with other people. Fuck out of here. Yeah, turned him out. Skillmonger busted his whole cherry open. turned him into a whole bussy. But he the one who can build shit and protect shit and cook and all the rest of that shit. Only thing this dude's producing is complaints and penis. Nothing. No workable skills at all, except for being able to play the piano. And at that, he was probably doing it badly because he couldn't sing on key. artisanmc getting cutthroat Forest took Jenny after she done ran through crack death. Yeah, Jenny had did all kind of shit. And came back to Forest sick and dying. Fuck you. That's like they say, that stray cat always know his way home. Yeah. Yeah, BC trying to have that was the dumbest shit in the world to me. That's why I said the episode was not shocking, it was irritating. Dinner parties, nigga? After the apocalypse? Dinner parties. You is delusional. Oh my God. You are delusional. We're gonna have dinner parties. Dinner parties? The fuck you think that this is not different? This motherfucker in Fantasyland, he playing house. He is actually playing fucking house. Putting up curtains and having dinner parties. We don't know what these people on is out here. Y'all might have watched The Walking Dead. Did you see anybody on The Walking Dead talking about having fucking dinner parties? Or did you understand that the people that's surviving ain't all good? You might not want to invite them over. Fortify what the fuck you got and find some decent, like-minded souls to help you fortify that shit or defend it. Yeah, and all it proved that Frank was a big-ass simp. A blue-brown pill, like a blue M&M. Or a peanut M&M. That's all he was. Yeah, Skillmonger, exactly. One blowjob away. And he literally was. One blowjob away. Gave it all up. That bullshit. And then killed himself. Can't live in this world without you. Like, okay, I guess that could be romantic in a sense. In a notebook kind of way, we just gonna lay down together and die. Like, no, nigga. Sorry. Nah, fuck that. If I've lived this long, I could live a lot longer. No. See, that kind of notion, why that doesn't jive with me is for the fact that if you've ever been in love and lost that, you know that's part of it. There is no roller coaster ride that just has peaks. You got to have a drop so you can have another peak. No matter who you have loved before, there's been somebody else. Now, you may get to the point where you become a little less frequently like busting when you're further outside the city, but they still come because it's all about how you develop relationships with people. And if your developmental skills is all about just proximity, you're going to have a problem when you're not in proximity. Loving somebody and losing them is the yin and yang of the shit. That's just what it is. And then you don't really know that it's actually love until you're missing it, until it's gone. But that also helps inform more about you when you can, after that, love somebody else. Because you love somebody different. And they will love you differently. And then you can compare and contrast what you thought was love in the first relationship and what is love in this one. You can understand how you've changed, how you've spiritually grown, how you've emotionally grown or not grown. You can account for all of that shit. But that's what happens when you go through that process. See, what happens with a lot of the modern people, they don't want to go through the downside process. All they want is peaks. That's not normal. It's not life. That is not living. Living is taking, to use the Forrest Gump metaphor, the stormy days and the calm seas after the storm. That's why Lieutenant Dan jumped his ass in the ocean and just started swimming and made his peace with God because he understood the storms come and the storms go. And what remains is me. I am always here. That's why he got good. He made his peace. Thank you, BMT, for using the super chat. I will give you that 3B salute in region. BMT said it's crazy. The man Susan wanted parties and send Frank out for drinks, but they get attacked one time. Bill ready to run and leave that compound. Yeah, because he wasn't. Dude, motherfucker was part of a party of 10 and got separated and fell in a fucking hole and couldn't get himself out. So it makes me wonder, what the fuck was you doing in that group of 10? Sucking dick? You're a dude with no fucking skills. You ain't even got no. Look, they got attacked and Frank was out there holding it down, trying to protect this place. Bill didn't bust a shot, and he had a pistol. Hood sense, you would have got his ass kicked and thrown outside that gate. That's my understanding. So I told y'all I ain't no hood nigga. But that's my understanding of it. If you ain't gonna bust no shots to protect this shit, you don't get no rights in this motherfucker. You can sit your ass outside the gate like them other people getting burnt up. Bitch ass. You need to sit back. You don't get to be in the driver's seat if you ain't willing to protect it. Fuck you. Shut the hell up talking at my volume. What up, A Bizzle?
Hey, what's going on, Artisan?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. I saw the trailer for Picard season 3.
Yeah.
Think that's what it is. I was actually half amped up to watch that shit. I'm like, man, look like it might be going down. Maybe AB might get some company on this season.
Yeah.
Look like it might be going down. Like, oh shit.
Hey, did you get my email about woke conda?
Oh God, did I? I haven't looked at my email. I got like 4,000.
Okay, it's all good. I finally watched it.
Oh, you finally watched it? Is that what the email was about? Like, oh my God, I saw this shit. Oh my God. Oh my God. Holy shit.
Okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
It wasn't as bad as you thought it was gonna be? Yeah.
Well,
of course.
It wasn't of course it wasn't as good as the first movie, but you know.
No, it wasn't as good as the first movie, but
first
movie got to be in that vacuum of we're gonna let you do what you need to do and keep our hands off of it. The second movie we gotta have our hands all in it. And we need this on there, and we her in here, and we need this too. Like, oh, here we go. Diversity check.
I like what they did with Namor. Mostly.
You like what they did with Namor, or you don't like what they did with
Namor? I like what they did. I like what they did with Namor mostly.
Huh. Interesting. Do tell.
I don't know much about the character in the comics, but I I like the origin story they made for him. You know that he came from the Mayan, the Mayan group that was on the continent uh, before the Spaniards came over here and fucked everything up.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
That's what the white folks wasn't liking. Them like, oh, here we go with this colonizer shit again. Like, yeah, motherfucker, because it happened. Shut up.
Now, I actually, this is what I put in the email. My favorite scene was actually when Shuri went to the ancestor plane.
Ancestral plane. Yeah, I'm reading your email now. I found it.
Because that's who she deserved to see. That's who she deserved to see. Yeah. And that's exactly who she deserved to see.
Because neither one of them believed. And that was the most disappointing part, that living in Wakanda all that time, Shuri really didn't believe in the ancestors and shit like that. I mean, it makes sense because she's a person of science, but she don't believe. So she wouldn't see the ancestors. She probably wouldn't even get Bass' blessing to get the powers of the Panther anyway. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, to me, that was the ancestor thing. Oh, you want to believe now that your mama died. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Now you got some belief.
Yeah. You might get your brother or your father. Here's your cousin.
Yeah, your cousin. Talk to your cousin. Talk to your cousin who didn't believe too. He didn't get to talk to nobody but his daddy. Go ahead. Yeah, y'all talk. We're gonna turn our back on you. We ain't gonna. Yeah, you can't see brother or daddy. Nope. Why are you here? Because this is all you get. That's all you get. What up, Beast?
Yeah, what's going on, Beastly?
Nothing much, man. Just sitting here listening, and because I know you was talking about that Last of Us episode. You're mixing the characters up. Bill was the prepper. Frank was the new booty.
Okay, I was following BMP's lead. He mixed me up with the names. Yeah, Bill, Big Beard was the prepper. Frank was the frilly. Frank was the frilly. He wanted the curtains up. My bad. Excuse me, y'all. I made a faux pas. I am imperfect today. And my coffee cup is empty. Thank you for that. Did you watch the episode? Oh, you did watch the episode, Beastly, because we were talking about it.
Yeah, I watched it. I meant to click on your link because I hit your link at first, but then somehow I lost it and got out of it. And so because I started doing something else while I was at work, and then I watched. Oh,
so you said later. Fuck me is what you said. You just said fuck it.
Because I was gonna watch it.
I had something else to do, man. I didn't feel like watching that shit with you.
Well, no, I was at work, and so that's what happened. And I got distracted for a little bit. I said, I forgot about the episode was on. And so when I watched it later, after I saw Magnus, what's the dude, Tyrone Magnus review, I was like, oh snap. Let me go ahead and watch this dumpster fire because I already know it's gonna be some ish. And I was just like, look, I don't care what nobody said. That was boring. And this is somebody who some of my pastime of film is romance films. So I thought it was a very generic.
I like a good romance film, but it was boring as shit to me. But here's how much you can see is boring. How many other movies did I name that you could see the same scene in? It's like they copied and pasted the shit from other movies anyway. Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, The Notebook. It was all in there. Every fucking tearjerker you could have thought of. It's like, okay, you proud because you made this?
The movies that told better stories too.
Exactly. A better build up and a better reason why they were so deeply in love with each other. You just in love because y'all the only two motherfuckers here, and he gave you your first sexual experience.
All these writers in Hollywood need to be fired.
Well, what's going on, everyone? And first off, shout out to you. I enjoyed doing critique videos with you. Your facial reaction, I like it. So here's the thing. Okay, so because when you're watching something like the first scene started out with Joel and Ellie in the house. Now I don't know why, but they're not doing things that people in a survival setting would do. Like, yeah, let's just go in here, but we don't clear the house. Let's just go just sit down and like Artisan was just getting mad, like this stupid motherfucker just goes around and don't even go. Like, I'm like Artisan, like
And BNT,
like,
BNT, and Joel's supposed to be former military.
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't do
Well-
that. He walked into a whole fucking gas station. He didn't clear one damn room. He just started looking for a trap door and let this goofy bitch he's supposed to be protecting just start wandering off all through this place. I'm like, what is you doing? Don't do that.
now that's why I said, okay, so like for me, it's like if you read a Jurassic Park book, how I learned, don't go try to compare the book to the movie. You're gonna get upset. If you read, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, if you read a book, you gotta be like, okay, I don't want to get my hopes up. Right. Because they're not gonna do it service. They're not gonna do the Lord of the Rings like they did the book. And the alien comic books, now that I actually started reading them, I'm like, holy crap. Why did they leave this amazing part out? Oh, of course they did, because it would fuck with you. So seeing Joel with a mixed daughter, I'm like, what the hell is this? Cultural appropriation.
Diversity.
I get it. Diversity. I get it. So
yeah, but look, I knew that wasn't his real daughter, and I didn't play
was
the game.
cringing,
I'm like,
dude.
he must be the one put in. I just knew it when I looked at it. Like,
I was just waiting for a black woman to run in there with a car, and I'm here to save you, Joel. Okay, now it makes sense.
No, I was
Let's
watching
go.
the scene when it started, and I said, "Is this supposed to be his daughter? They don't look related at all."
Diversity.
I just turned off my brain.
They love catering to these swirlers out here, man. I'm telling you right now.
No, they trying to advertise for more swirlers. It ain't enough of them to be catering to like that. All the black chicks I know that with a white dude, he ain't hella cute, but they got their kids and they just live their life. They ain't trying to go out there, posting signs and parading around. No, it's just is what the fuck it is. Okay,
right?
It's not that bad.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like. That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, like the apocalyptic thing. Like, because like me and my old lady were watching it, and I'm a heavy Last of Us fan, and I'm like, damn, dude, like this is like some apocalyptic Susan shit. Like, why would you keep somebody around in your compound that ain't worth the fuck? Like, this don't make no sense. But
do you hear? Look,
it must be for the goddamn booty call.
Yeah. Exactly, just for the booty, just for the cold nights. He ain't doing shit else. He can't paint, he can't hammer, he can grow strawberries after 7 years. That's it. It took him 7 years for that.
The only breakdown I definitely understood that I wish that I think we should have talked about. It seems like back then you used to have movies where guys could go on an adventure or like have a lifespan of doing things, but there was no sexuality involved. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, me and Conan, we traveled together for 5 years and did X, Y, and Z. Cool. All right, I get that. Here, if two guys share an apartment, they got to be gay. They have to be gay. And I'm like, wow, dude.
Yeah, we talked about it, but we only touched on it a little bit about why can you have two guys on screen nowadays, but if there's two guys on screens and they care, they have to be fucking gay. That's not how it should be. Look, I love my brother. I ain't gay for him. I might got love for my homeboy. I ain't gay for him. No, nigga. It's not what it's about.
That's crazy.
I might lay somebody down if he was dying, but it's not because he busted my pussy open. No, that's not how we friends.
Right.
That's not how relationships between men work. So
that's why I don't get that. It's like they're killing off like some of the best Oscar films were brotherhood films. We're like, yo, dude, like we're not coming back, but we're gonna ride this out together. Like, they didn't make Sam and Frodo gay.
They just were like, yo, dude, Sam and Frodo was gay.
That's but they sure trying to now.
But you get what I'm saying? Like Sam was like, I'm going to bring you back, Frodo. Like, I promise you, I'm Mr. Baggins, I'm going to bring you back. That was Sam's prerogative. Remember home, bro. We got to go back home. The Shire. That didn't mean he was gay.
No, they play it up like that though, like he was gay. I'm like, look, man, this is to put a thumb in the eye and move guys or younger guys away from having normal heterosexual relationships with other dudes. That because they shame and they objectify everything you do as normal guys as being gay. That's it. You can't have a sports team and have fun playing sports and all the rest of it. Oh, that's gay. You know, you can't have a close friend that you talk your shit to or whatever. Oh, y'all must be gay for each other. Y'all boyfriends. Oh, you can't go out with your homeboy. Oh, you got a man date? We don't date. What the fuck are you talking about? No. All that stuff is the terminology and stuff like that used is to shame and move men away from being actually close in the sense that another guy will look out for you. And only push you towards you're only supposed to be connected with women who will take advantage of you. Most definitely, without a disagreement.
But one of me and my good friends used to have, we call it a nerd night or Yu-Gi-Oh date night, where we would play Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, watch anime, order Chinese food and pizza and everything. Shit you not, we stopped doing it. We stopped doing it because, he got with a female friend. I had a problem with it. But she was like, listen, I think, Joe may be gay. Wait, why would Joe be gay? Well, what kind of black man wants to get hyped to remind you, like, y'all got to meet up for, like, playing cards and anime and stuff like that? And you know what? Sad to say, he stopped coming. He stopped doing it. I'm not going to lie.
Cool kind of guy.
And I'm not going to lie. I called and I was crying, but I'm like, dude, like, this is the one thing that we have. Like, come on, dude. Like, this is what got us through, like high school, the military, some of our college. Like, you're giving all this shit up for that of a chick that doesn't even like us playing PlayStation and Tekken. Like, what the fuck? Like, don't throw away. And like, sadly, he's like, sorry, dude, I don't want to lose my girl. And I'm like, I get it, dude. I wish the best of luck for you.
Yeah, she shamed him away from it. And here's the funny part. You would lose a lifelong guy friend who would be with you if that bitch broke your heart, took you for everything, and was fucking some other friend of yours. You would throw that away to keep some chick who doesn't actually like you. You know why? Because if she liked you, she would have accept whatever it is that you was into. Don't give me that shit. She ain't throwing away her friends.
Essentially, they made you give up poker night.
Basically, they made you give up guys' night. Basically, is what it is. You can call it geek night. You can call it whatever the fuck you want to. But whatever you do, and this is just me relationship-wise, whatever you do with your friends should stand. Always should stand. If you hang out with your dudes once a week before you've met this chick, and then you meet a chick, and that's the one thing she wants you to give up, you should hold to that shit like it's your life. No. Because knowing psychology or just knowing relationships, that's the hallmark of somebody who's going to be abusing you, to cut you off from everybody else and what you are already doing. What difference does it make if you hang out with your friends one night of the week? It's the one thing that y'all do together. That's no different than some bitch meeting you in the club and you in the club every week and you see her in there every week. And then as soon as she gives you a piece, she wants you to stop going to the club. But she can go out with her girlfriends. Nigga, you out of your fucking mind. The minute you fall for some shit like that, the minute you was already going down this blue pill. No. That is how you set yourself up to be abused later on. You're supposed to hold the line on what you do as a man, period. You have supposed to be on your program. You're supposed to be on your program. And anybody else coming along is an addition to your life and your program. They don't subtract from your program. They add to it. Because nobody should be able to come into your life and tell you how to run it. That's stupid. No. And basically what he's saying is he in BMT situation, what he was describing, his homeboy is closeted now. If you want to actually put a point on it, he's closeted. Half of his personality is now in a closet somewhere. He can't express half of his personality because the woman won't allow him to, because she don't like it. And she don't fucking like you. Tell
Yeah,
kick it.
Look.
all of a sudden, then these chicks have the nerve to wonder why they get cheated on all the time.
Yeah, no, they don't wonder. They usually, I'll tell you this, they don't wonder why. They know why. They just didn't get a chance to do it before you. Chick always wants to have something over on you. They always want to have something over on you. And you always have to be the one apologizing for something. That's the only way modern chicks know how to operate.
And this is why I use a cautionary tale as a buddy of mine who still cool he's and a former training partner who fucked up his opportunity to be in the UFC behind a fucking chick.
Yeah, never.
Fucked up an opportunity to be in when they started the new weight class, the 140, the 125 one. He had an opportunity to be on that show that they were going to do, and he fucked it up because the chick he was messing with, and it was a fucked up scenario. She was cheating with the neighbor across the street from our coach. And our coach's wife knew about the shit. She did it multiple times to the point where my former coach was about to leave his own wife behind that shit. He was mad as hell. He was like, why the fuck would you do that knowing that we...
Whoa. So, that was the wrong one. I was looking for this one.
Yeah, because he said he almost left my former coach is like, man, I almost left my wife behind that shit. And he was already the type of dude that he didn't have that level of game with chicks to where he could just move on so quick. Yeah, and it was like it fucked up a title fight he had, and it fucked up that fight what we were supposed to do with the UFC. Put it like this. It was when the UFC came to Houston, like during that Gray Maynard versus Edgar 3 at the Toyota Center. Dana came to the school. I had missed my opportunity to meet him. That's how this shit got set up. The president of the UFC came to the school. I was like, you got me fucking kidding me. And he fucked all that up.
I've said this before, and understand I do like women, but I understand at least a bit about women, what they bring and what they take, right? At best, they are a distraction. That's why any dating coach or any dude that's about male improvement will tell you to stay on your fucking purpose. You always have to stay on your purpose. If your purpose goes out the window the minute you get a blowjob or a piece of ass, it wasn't your fucking purpose. You were just biding time until some chick came along and gave you a fucking purpose. Service her needs. So that means you shouldn't be complaining about shit. If anything you had in your life, you are now dropping. Anything that you hold to the tightest, you're dropping because you start seeing a chick, you fucked up. And it goes vice versa. It goes the same way with chicks in some senses. Depends, right? Because my older cousin had told me this, right? If you are flat broke and about to be homeless, who do you go to? Do you go to your boy or do you go to your girl? It is a sad state for a man if he's dependent upon a female to help him in his times of need, especially if female is the reason your ass is there. It's a sad state. But it's a sad state because so many of us for the last 40-something damn years have been raised to constantly keep moving us away from having close relationships with elder men. That's what happens when you remove the father from the home. You break up the idea that men can rely on other men, because other men are the only ones doing shit for you, not looking to get a piece of ass. When you see all that anonymity that brothers have with being able to work together and stuff like that, where does that come from? Where were they learning that? They learned it because it was instilled in them early when they were younger. You're supposed to go to other men for help. You're supposed to have your good circle of men, because every successful group of men does have that.
Yep.
That's how you build things together. That's how you get things done. That's how you find out pipelines about jobs or all this other stuff. That's how you keep your sanity when, like Beasley was just saying with this other dude, when she cheat on you with the dude across the street and then take you to court and run your pockets and your 401k for the rest of your life. Those are the people that keep you from trying to kill her ass. Your boys.
Yep,
Not
and
no girls.
yourself.
Those are the ones who do that. You're supposed to have close relationships with guys. Because girls ain't giving up having close relationship with their girls. But shit, even that hoe bitch that tried to throw you a piece, she's still gonna defend her. Don't matter how she talked about you, don't matter what shit she did, it don't matter. She is never gonna cut her ass off. But you supposed to cut off your homeboys, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all need to read. Y'all need to read and live a little bit life a little bit more and start not even read more, live life. Ask questions. Ask pertinent fucking questions. What do I like? Why do I like it? What does it mean to me? And who would I give this shit up for? And why would I give it up for them? No. Yeah, man, villainy, you gotta have your war room. And it don't matter if a dude in your war room is saying, man, I don't like that bitch. Good. You need that person there. That's the one that's gonna keep you honest, nigga. When they say, nigga, you going out, you simping like a motherfucker. What? How am I simping? Did you go to her parents' thing? Well, yeah. Did you go to her sister's thing? Yeah. Did you go to such and such? Yeah. Did you come hang out with us last week? Well, nah, she had a thing. You simping. Shut up. You whipped. We can abide by that for a little while when it's, new coochie. But look, you got 30 days for that. After that, you got to get back on task, homeboy. You got to get back on program. We got shit to do. Get it out your system. Like, it's new. You're used to it now. New car smell is gone. And get back on program. Keep this moving. It'll fuck up everybody's life. But that's what happens. It happens like that with folks. Oh, let me get this. Shout out to 3000 GT for the Cash App, sir. Appreciate it. I will give you that 3B. Now, yeah, I'm not against relationships. I'm not. I think relationships be good. But you got to go into it right, and you got to behave correctly in that shit. You do. You have to understand you have to understand who you are before you get into a relationship. So you understand what you're bringing into a relationship. And parts of who you are is the things that should never change regardless of a relationship. Should always be the same. I know at different times guys give shit like that up because they feel and they've been taught that is what they're supposed to do for the person that they're with. It's bullshit. No, you're not. The person you're some reason, probably for you doing the shit that they're telling you right at that moment to give up. Now, that doesn't make any sense, but a lot of things that emotional people do don't make any fucking sense to logical folks. Does it? But what it is a test. You have to pass the test by sticking to who you are, because that is what you're defined as a man. What you stick to, not what you get all swishy, blowing in the wind about, but what you stand on, what people can depend on you for. You can always depend on me to tell you what I think. You can't depend on the fact that you're going to like it or not, but you can depend on me saying it. I will always give you that. It's a free service I provide. But I'm not going to bullshit you. You don't have to like it. Chances are you might not. But that's not going to stop me from actually giving it to you the way I see it. It's not. You need to be the same person you are in a relationship as you were when you walked into it, as you will be when it's over. You have to be that same person. That's the only thing that's not going to change because you are always you. But if you get to that point where you constantly give up things for somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
and then that relationship ends, you're going to be there trying to put your friendship circle back together again every fucking time. And people are going to be like, nah, nigga, you traded on me.
Yeah, I
You
ain't gonna do
gave up my lifelong friendship for 60 days of fucking sex. Well, fuck you. You don't value it then. Huh. Go ahead, AB.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't giving up my friends. I ain't got that many to give up. I was like, I ain't about to give them up.
I have a friend right now who's a female. And there was at one point that my ex-wife wanted me to give her up as a friend. And I did that shit for a minute. I broke that chick heart. For real. Crying on the phone and everything. Didn't understand why that shit was happening. And it happened because the lady I was with was uncomfortable. Well, why was she uncomfortable? Because she's insecure. She had a guy who was, regular dude, but he's not ugly and can actually have decent conversations with women. That made her insecure because there were still people who would want me. I didn't want them, but there were still people that would want me. I wasn't going anywhere. I told y'all, there's a bunch of women in the world. I just need my lady. And if she ain't my lady, she's just one of the other women in the world. It's that damn
Yeah.
simple for me, right? So I did that, and then I thought about it, how fucking terrible I felt about doing that to that person. This person that did nothing, accused of doing a lot of shit, but had done nothing, all to make somebody else feel comfortable who wasn't comfortable a day later, 10 minutes later, a
Mm-hmm.
month later, wasn't comfortable at all. Just went on to the next thing to see if I can get him to get rid of this in his life to make me feel comfortable. You cannot make insecure people secure. You cannot do it. Security comes from inside. It ain't coming from the outside. Fucking hell. Look, so I actually had to go back on that, bring that friend back and stand on that shit and tell her, no, this motherfucker ain't did nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this was over 20 years. I still got that friend, ain't got that wife. What changed? Looking for some fucking security. I don't believe in giving up friends for relationships. I don't.
What's that old saying? Misery loves company.
Misery loves company. And the only way it becomes misery in its company is they cut you off from everything else. They let you have life outside of them.
Mm-hmm.
If you are dependent upon one person for your conversation, your happiness, and all that shit that makes your life worth living, your ass will be like Frank rolling up in the bed next to this motherfucker who's dying. No, life goes on.
Mm-hmm.
I had a life before I found you. I will have a life after you found something else to do. Because my understanding on life and relationships is that it only ends two ways, by death or by choice. And nowadays, most people just make the choice, but they ain't dying together. So at best, be it 1 month, 1 year, 10 years, 30 years, you're going to leave one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mean you don't enjoy the time that you spend. It just means you understand that it's finite in only two ways. Everybody ain't getting to the they died on me situation. Everybody ain't getting there. They're not. They can't make it out of the months because they don't know themselves enough to stick to shit. So I don't believe in that. I've had friends that have done that, and it cost our friendship because they did that for somebody else. who don't like what they like, don't like they geek shit, don't like none of that stuff, but they swear up and down they love this person. Well, how do you love this person being half of themselves? How do you love them but want them to throw away what makes them them? Where they find their joy, because you want to be the source of their joy and be able to take that away from them when you want to punish them. Can't do that if all their joy comes from outside of your ass. That's somebody who's insecure. That's why I can't deal with that shit. But this ain't relationship talk, shop talk. so to Darren Anderson's point, yes, we were talking about The Last of Us, but it's spun into relationship stuff. So yeah, never sacrifice brotherhood for a chick. And female sense, I would say you should sacrifice some of your friends for your man. Why? Because Kevin said it, your single friends will fuck up your relationship and keep you single. Because misery loves company. And if there's a bunch of y'all hanging around each other and you all fucking single or in and out of relationships often, you need to figure out why that keeps happening. It's probably because y'all keep dragging each other back. Don't leave, stay with me. I don't want to be here by myself. Come on, let's go to the bathroom. Can't even shit solo. Come on now. That you need to break away because it's more helpful for you. More helpful for you. Anyway, what else you got, Beastly? AB, getting close to 3:30. Or not 3:30, but 3 hours and 30 minutes. Somebody else went live? What the fuck? It's quiet. I got muted mics. And no one, just so you know, I like the Notebook. I do. I'm weird. Call it what you want to. That's where I first learned who Rachel McAdams was. The Notebook. First time I saw her. To this day, Notebook is one of my favorite movies that Ryan Gosling was in. That's what it is. It's a decent enough story, and I like the idea that even as an old man, because it had old James Garner in there, and if y'all old enough to remember the Rockford Files and the Gambler and shit like that, well, that's just too bad for you. But I like James Garner. And the fact that his wife, that he has been in love with all this time, well, she wasn't dying, but she was losing her memory of remembering him. That's like one of the worst things to me that can happen to you. In a psychological sense, in a mental sense, that's one of the worst things that can happen. That you keep seeing faces that you don't recognize. Right? But these people still recognize you. They still have those connections to you, but you don't recognize them at all. That has to be one of the most hurtful things, because some people can only interact with you if you remember them. Right? Take it as you see an old elementary school friend or an old high school friend that you always saw each other in, the hallways, and always made a little joke in the hallways when you pass each other. But you didn't really know them too much. You see him again 20 years later. The old joke don't fly anymore. You might even remember why y'all made that same one joke. The fact that you don't remember them or they don't remember you will bother you a little bit. But man, we spoke to each other every day. Yeah, but it was just surface level. It'll bother you. It'll fuck with you. So for me, having two people in a long relationship like that, and they're getting older, and you having to see your spouse, your significant other, fading like that, yeah, it's fucked up. And the fact that he died before her, I think he had a heart situation or something like that while he was there trying to get her to remember who she was sad in the fact that he died and then she did remember him. But it was too late. He was gone. Like fuck, dude.
Nicholas Sparks, man. Nicholas Sparks, bro.
Yeah,
I think only 2 of his movies aren't like that, where the one of the main characters don't pass away. Because he got me with The Best of Me. I said, "Oh fuck, I ain't gonna watch this shit." Then when I caught the, I was like, I almost pulled some tears. I was like, "Damn!" With the main character, I was like, "Fuck you, Nicholas Sparks."
Look, I don't cry in movies and stuff like that, right? But I saw The Notebook with my boy Ford's dad, Joe, G.I. Joe, right, and his wife Cece, right. You don't like Cece. Like, she's cool. They were the ones that first made me watch this movie. That movie was over, and I saw it with them and at the time my wife. And my boy Joe was crying. I'm like, what? Y'all motherfuckers, y'all feelings is close. It's one of the things I admire, but I'm like just puzzled about. Joe and Ford, we can go to movies. I've seen Joe cry a few fucking times. The Notebook was the only time a war or somebody dying wasn't happening. It was The Notebook. He was crying. I'm like, nigga, really? Look, it's like that scene in Terminator 2. He said, I understand why you cry. I just cannot do it. It's weird. It's like, damn, what does it feel like to be able to have all your emotions like that? I don't get it. Interesting, but I get it.
Yeah, because normally when I saw them movies, I was actually kind of disappointed because I never understood why my aunt, who wrote a romance novel herself, she never watched them movies. We always watched the rom-com. So like Matthew McConaughey is my shit.
Yeah, I like Matthew McConaughey.
And she said, because I don't want to be sad. I was like, what you talking about? She said, do you not see them characters dying at the end of the movie?
See, that is some females' condition. They want all benefits and no downside. Like I was talking about, a roller coaster with no drops, right? It's just all peaks. That's not normal. That never happens in life. Look, you wouldn't understand. The Notebook wouldn't be as good of a movie if the old man and the old lady, she remembered everything and they just went off into the sunset and lived. You wouldn't even like the fucking movie then. It wouldn't have any resonance or any gravity to what the hell was going on. All of a sudden she remembered everything and they just lived on. The fuck out of here. It would have sucked. Wouldn't even talk about the movie. But the fact that what the payoff that you were looking for did not actually happen, but it didn't happen for the character, is the sad part about it, because life is sad at times. Mm-hmm. But you don't get to run from them in life necessarily. You got to deal with them. Movies like this that make you sad a little bit is training for you to build up that, emotional toughness to deal with sad situations. That's what it's for. You never had that. That's why you freak out and do all the rest of the shit when something's sad. I don't know who's gonna pick up all this now. It's all gonna be together. Well, you never thought about that shit. You should have watched some sad movies, motherfucker, so you'd understand how to deal with things like this, or at least start formulating in your head an idea of how to deal with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's why you watch all them sad movies when your ass is young. So when you get older, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah.
And this is the thing: you watch the movie so you understand it, but you don't take that as the template of how things are supposed to go.
Yeah,
that's the other problem that you find with modern people. They think everything is supposed to be like they saw it in the movie, and if it's not how they saw it in the movie, then it's no good. It's a bit of a problem. No, because this is real life. Things get a little messy. Look, yeah, it worked perfectly this time when they filmed it in a movie. This is real life. This ain't a movie, so it's not going to work perfectly.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. That's the one problem that I had with that episode, to bring it back to The Last of Us, was it was too damn perfect. They only got attacked one damn time, and I was like, okay, I'm expecting multiple attacks, because you're talking about something that would. First off, you would still have the U.S. military out there still doing stuff, so they would have hit the compound at least once. Constant raids from other people, because some of them people are probably going to get away and try to hit it again. And not to mention, where the hell are the damn zombies at? you saw one zombie get killed in that fell into the trap. I said, okay, so other zombies didn't attack it. No growth anywhere. That was the problem that I was having, because I was expecting to see them do a little bit more fighting and less fussing.
Yeah, because as soon as they started fussing, that was what I was tuning out. Like, this nigga arguing with him like a bitch. Are you fucking kidding me? Got time to be arguing with you in no post-apocalyptic bullshit like that. And then yes, the way, even though that was a little small town where he was, somebody else should have came across his ass in 20 goddamn years. There should have been a little bit more, shit going on, right? So the whole field or the whole episode showcased somebody's wish fulfillment or somebody's wet dream, right? A homosexual wet dream of what could happen post-apocalypse. That's all it played as, because it didn't do anything to driving the story forward anywhere else. Nothing. You just got, a love story pieced together from other better stories in one show, so they could pat themselves on the back and like, look, we did something revolutionary. No, I think gay movies exist.
Well, you saw that article that they came out with the director where he talked about he wanted to trick people into watching that. He wanted to trick people into watching the gay love scene and all that other stuff. It was one of the directors, the director of the episode, who happens to be LGBT member of himself, and he wanted to trick people. And I was like, why would you do that?
Why would he do that? I'll tell you why he would do that. What's the argument that I've made about these people who want to keep pushing this shit in front of kids? It is grooming. It is grooming. It seems too much like grooming to me. It does. Because the fact that you would use the terms, you wanted to trick people into watching it because you knew they wouldn't want to watch it. You said trick. Why would you trick grown people into watching it? Because my question was, if Last of Us came from a video game, probably kids watching this shit. So in that sense, why are you trying to trick kids into watching two grown men fooling around? Trick would not be the word I would be using at that, because in this sense, that's what Bill was. Bill was a trick. And Bill was selling ass, literally, for shelter. So you can be part of whatever fucking community you want to, but you got to understand who you're making this shit for. And I would not be using the term trick in any of this stuff, because it's really telling. Because if you felt you had to trick somebody into watching this, you knew it wasn't a play at any other time. You knew that. But you had your opportunity, so you got your 15 minutes of fame, superstar, to throw your bullshit in there. So now we'll see if you get back to the story on this episode, because I'm sure you got an understanding that the fan base will be sitting there like, okay, now what? What you gonna do for your next trip? Nope.
I'm like, look, man.
Those comics and toys will stop making your shit too. And no Winter Soldier, Daredevil, or John Wick. And no more eating meat. We vegan. Yeah, Joe. You know that shit go. You can be vegan all you want to, but I'll eat some asparagus for you. But I like meat sometimes. Figure it out. Yeah, no. Watching Last of Us now. Oh, the new episode is on. I avoided it until y'all started talking about it. I'm a sucker for zombie show movies. Yeah. The first two episodes were decent. I mean, I didn't play a video game, so I'm not coming into it with a built-in, love or hatred for it at all. I'm not. I'm watching it as a casual, showgoer. What are you showing me in the show? That's where I'm reviewing it from. I'm just a casual. Can you get me on board to liking this shit? or are you gonna get me on board to hate? Okay, 3 episodes. Third episode was a yawn and something I didn't think was necessary. And from what I understand from people who know the material, it ain't in the material. So somebody just got their fantasy off. Okay, that sounds like She-Hulk again. Anyway, do y'all got anything else with your genitals to want to impress and show people?
And see, I got a
Grow up!
And see, I got a little triggered when people started throwing this conversation of representation around. And I was like, dude, excuse me. First off, I just had to watch a movie where a character who I spent the last 15 years waiting to come on to film got taken out in the universe. And so I'm possibly never going to see that character ever again in live action, at least maybe not in my lifetime, or unless they make a complete change. I don't want to hear shit about no damn representation.
I'm not a fan of using representation is now turned into the disrespectful R word, right?
Yeah.
That's not what it is. It's not representation for everybody. That's not what it is. It's a cover or cloak of diversity that you just use to run your shit through. It's like putting a black man on the front of your car and then running it through a fence. You are using the struggle of black people for recognition as people, not property, but as people, to push your bullshit through that ain't got nothing to do with none of that, but outside of how you want to fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Which nobody actually cares about.
And if you ever watched popular media, that was already represented
all over the place. Yeah, it's already been represented.
I mean, I can think of some shit. I can think of a show, that Young and Hungry show that was with what's her name, sister from the Sixth Sense. I see his sister Emily Oswald. She had the character Elliot was the gay dude who was the assistant. Was funny as shit to me. I said I love that character. I was like, I love watching. Well, I was like, I didn't have a problem with it.
Because Last of Us is HBO, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody remember a show called 6 Feet Under that was on HBO?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that, Michael C. Hall, guy who was before he became Dexter? Wasn't that the show where he was a gay dude on with a big black buck police officer? Bumping and sucking and doing everything? You ain't doing shit new, dude. That's what I'm saying. They're trying to be shocking and they're not. 1 second.
Oh.
One second.
Right, Malika. Yep, Skillmonger. That's another one. The people of color term. I'm like, who we talking about specifically when we say that? Because I'll just say it, and I'll correct people when they say that people of color. I'm like, so just like I said, that whole conversation, I was like, your characters have been represented. I mean, Artisan is watching The Wire. The character of Omar, very popular character in popular media. Omar was so what are we talking about representation? Omar is a very popular character. That's like probably one of the first characters I heard about in that show, The Wire. So it's like when they start talking about, I didn't see this. I said, have you not read? And this is geeks and supposed nerds. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. That shit was riddled throughout different entertainment. Like we talk about before they started playing around more so with the X-Men, you had a handful of those characters that already existed on the X-Men team. North Star, Shatterstar, who else? Who's a few? Just to name a few before you start playing around with the main continuity. So I just get a little frustrated when they start talking this because it's like I don't feel represented. Where's the unapologetically masculine, positive, strong black man who's intelligent and don't take no crap from anybody, including his woman and even white folks? I just watched one movie that reminded me of that. I just rewatched Passenger 57 with Wesley Snipes, and I remember why I always liked him. And it was like, I don't know, because if y'all ever remember the scene in the movie when he's having to deal with the cops, and even while the cops got him yammed up, he's still talking shit, still popping jokes on them, and then eventually you see him when he's chasing the dude down to break loose, he kicks their ass and keep it pushing. I said, what happened to that level of masculinity in the movies and stuff?
Women tried to drive it out because that was an unapologetic male, and there wasn't anything toxic about him. Look, I don't buy into a lot of these words. Shout out to my favorite lexiconographer, Aaron McKean. Words have meaning, and you show it love by using it, and you show it dislove by not using it. I don't use a lot of these new age fucking words because they're bullshit. There's some Alice through the looking glass shit because it always means the opposite of what they're actually trying to purport it as being. To me, there is nothing toxic about manhood. There is nothing toxic about being a male. There is nothing poisonous to the point that it will kill you about being a male. There is something toxic about feminism. There is something toxic about the destruction of males or boys. There is something toxic about abortion and the prevailing of that sentiment that it just needs to be just because. There's something toxic about all of that shit because it actually ends lives. I don't think masculinity is toxic. There's only, for me, you don't have to agree with this shit, but I remember a time before, the 2000s. There are only two sexes on the planet, males and females.
Right.
There are only two. So if one is toxic, that means the other must be toxic too. So that's why I wouldn't use toxic to describe masculinity. Like femininity is the natural state of everything. Bullshit. That's why I don't get into a lot of using these ridiculous ass terms because I don't want to show it that kind of love by perpetuating. That's how it becomes part of the public lexicon where you keep having to use that goofy shit to explain a point and figure out why it don't work. This is why I don't use people of color. There's no such thing as people of color. There's different colors of people, but there ain't no people of color. People of
my truth.
People of my truth. That's another one I can't stand to use. People of color is another banner that people use to run under the Black American ethos struggle and get all the gains that they fought for.
Yep.
Without having to fight for it. Like fucking hell. Bill Burr was saying, this is them throwing their Gucci boots over too. That's what it is. They throwing their Gucci boots over the diversity line or the oppression line or the racism line to jump themselves in front of you. They jump in line is what they doing. Because they ain't put in no struggle for none of that shit. That's why they want to use the people of color thing, which is why I don't use it. Because it always seems to be some female of another group who ain't been oppressed at all trying to use that shit to run her bullshit through. Fuck you. No, I don't use that. I don't use my truth because you don't own the truth. The truth is the fucking truth. You don't own it. You may have your interpretation of the facts, if that, but you don't own the truth. The truth is the truth because the truth does not care about your fucking feelings. The truth is not dependent upon your feelings or if you feel comfortable with it. It's not. That's not what the truth is. Truth
It's
don't care
supposed to
about none
be
of that shit.
it's supposed to be objective, just like the justice. That's why Lady Justice is blind because it's
It's
supposed to
supposed
be
to be
objective.
objective.
It's supposed to sit outside of what everybody feels and thinks. Like now, it's supposed to be objective. So when you
This is what
start,
we agreed on. These are the rules,
yeah,
right? These are the rules we
yep,
agreed on, right? Okay, did you hold to these rules or not? Well, there was kind of a time I was kind of feeling, yeah, we don't care about none of that shit. Did you
mhm,
hold to these rules or not? That's a little bit too black and white. These are the laws. These are pretty
yeah,
black and white.
yeah. We need some black and white shit. Can't be everything. Can't be all gray. You got to have some shit that's black and definitively. And as soon as you start playing around with those boundaries, that's when shit gets fucked up. We've seen that in throughout history. As soon as you start blurring lines and playing with those boundaries, that's when things start going chaos. Hell, that's why
Well,
even
that's
if you
why.
from my
That's why I
religious folks,
reverted. That's why I reverted back to there's only two sexes on the planet because
mhm,
everything else now is a grain of that area. Well, maybe there's not just two. Maybe I don't want to be one or the other. Get the fuck out of here. You ain't got a choice.
you don't have a choice, man.
You don't have a choice.
You can't have a functioning society if you don't.
Well, it's not
I mean,
even that. Biologically, you don't have a fucking choice. It's one or the other. Black or white, red or blue, male, female. It's just what it is. If you don't like that shit, drop dead and take it up with your creator. Take it up with your creator. But this is how it is down here. This is just what the hell it is. Well, I don't choose to live like that. Well, fine, don't. So what? You want to be off the grid? Get off the grid. But don't think everybody else got to be there with you too. I don't have to
yeah,
subscribe to your delusions. I do not. It does not have to be a group thing. No, you can do it alone. It's good. Nobody gonna fuck with you. Just do it over there. Malika said, get rid of the carpenter jeans, work boots, and weight set, and trade them in for some capris, UGG boots, some yarn, knitting needles. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, no, look, I'm the type of motherfucker. I do all of that shit. I don't knit though. And fuck UGG boots because UGGs don't make no goddamn sense to me. I'm sorry, I'm functional. UGGs are not functional because they have no arch support. They have no arch support, so I don't see what the point of them ugly fucking boots is.
yeah. Just give me some Timberlands. I'll be all right.
Yeah, I bought my daughter one pair of those. One pair. Even as against them as I was, I bought her one pair. And the stipulation on me buying that one pair of them fucking boots, she can only wear them in the house because they were no good anywhere else. They get wet, they get soggy, the heels end up ran over and shit. It's like, no, those are house shoes. Those are not outdoor footwear. No, fuck you. Same thing with Crocs. Don't you wear no fucking Crocs nowhere? Fucking hurt you.
I
Until she
refuse
bought.
to wear Crocs, man. I don't know how many goddamn martial artists could be now that go to their school. They got some damn Crocs on. I'm like, why are y'all wearing fucking
Hold on a
Crocs?
second.
Got you. Damn. Sorry, y'all. I'm a bit distracted. I'm playing Overwatch and in competitive mode. That's why the last couple of rounds I was real quiet because somebody was on here talking shit about my performance, and I just had to go off the next round and just started dropping people left and right. So I get annoyed when people try to tell me how to fucking play the game when I know how to play the damn game.
You were talking and he was talking to me, and I couldn't hear what the hell he was saying.
Oh, oh my bad.
Talking to the
Got you.
president.
Come on.
So I'm gonna have to shut this down because I gotta go see what is going on with his water leak. It's about the time. It's about almost 3 o'clock now. Everybody wants to put in calls. 1 second. It is not my time yet. This shit don't make no sense. Why would you have water leaks? You get approved to pull out the old flooring and put new flooring in yourself. And you put new flooring in, and then water leaks again, and the floor is buckled. You didn't fix the leak. It's still gonna leak. You just want somebody to pay you for that flooring. People think I'm too negative about folks. No, I just deal with people. I deal with people as they do shit. And this is what people do. You do dumb shit after dumb shit, and somebody expects somebody else to pay you for it. No,
yep.
So now, since I might get to go do this and take these pictures of this rotting floor, which it's impossible for the floor to rot overnight. This is what makes me tired, because you have to be stupid to believe some of this shit that people say. I'm not stupid, so it's very painful. Fun fact, people of color was being used by Dominican Republic back in the early 18th century, as we know how they get down. Well, I can understand it being used in the Dominican Republic, because how many different ships was coming through there banging all they fucking women and leaving these bastard babies over there. It's the same thing with saying people of color in Hawaii. Any of those nations that, them Brits and Europeans decide to go through and spread their wild seeds. Yeah, there's going to be some people of color. There's going to be a whole lot of different colors on that bitch. Why can you meet somebody that says, well, I'm part German, Dutch, blah, 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 blah. Like, are you actually still Dominican? Fucking hell. That's what they want. That's what's being peddled as the coup de grace. You need your mixed children. All of this assimilation must happen now. Now, so you can all be one thing. Melt in the pot, bitches. Melt. Stop holding your individuality. Stop holding on to that. Not good for you.
No, I actually like variety, man.
I love variety. Just rewatch Barbershop 3. Great black father, strong man, good writing, respect on all levels. I haven't even watched Barbershop 3 one time.
Oh, you haven't?
But I respect Ice Cube though too. But that's why I'm not surprised. That's Ice Cube, right?
Yeah.
Ice Cube had a father. He hung out in the hood. He wasn't from the hood. Been fooling y'all forever. He went to college and everything. They fooled you forever. Entertainment. But he is a father for a long time. Married to the same woman for a long fucking time. And he still get out there and talk his shit and raise his kids. You know how much he was doing a good job. His kid looked just like him. You know what that means? His wife was talking big on his name.
His fucking kid and made his own, made a career for himself.
Cube. Yeah, he made a cube. Chip off the old Ice Cube.
I'll be forgetting that's his son. I'm like, oh, that's Ice Cube's son, because he's such a good. He said. I know. I'm talking about in terms of acting ability and all that other stuff. It's like because he's made like a name for himself to where he can stand on his own.
Yeah, I'm like, he's been good in movies. I mean, it didn't hurt that his get on was playing his daddy, but like, shit don't matter. Every time I see him, I know that's Ice Cube's kid. but he
Yeah.
does good in movies that he's in. I'm mad that they fucked his character up in Obi-Wan because I want to see what else was going to happen with that character. Like, he in the Star Wars universe now. You better use that Ghost of Mars, son of Ghost of Mars. Come on, man. I want to see what he do. He working with the underground and shit. Yeah, he down with the underground. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let's see what he do. But anyway,
The
I got to
only-
get out of here. I got to go get to this thing. I got about 15, 20 minutes, and this is 4 hours, so that's long enough for me to chop it up.
Yeah.
You got any final thoughts, Beastly, before I close the shop out?
I don't know how I feel about watching this next episode of The Last of Us, but I'll tune in.
You ain't got to feel no kind of way about it. You just got to watch the shit.
According to them, I gotta feel some type of way.
Well, whatever. Look, man, I control my feelings. You don't get to control my feelings for me. I'm gonna feel how fuck I feel. I put my feelings on standby. Put them on standby until sorry. I put my feelings on standby until I've decided and ran it through my analytical filter. I'm analytical, then feelings. I'm not feelings first and then analytics.
Analytical.
That's not the way I will operate. Figured that out from counseling, y'all. You should probably get a therapist sometime. And I got a dude, a white dude at that. And I like Todd. Todd was cool. We had good conversations. And he gave me the real because I was sitting there with a dude. He ain't gonna let me. Like, what the fuck? I thought you black dudes were strong. What? Yeah. But thank you, Beastly, for coming up. I'm going to go ahead and get you down and do my little epilogue to this stream. All right, y'all. Thank you for showing up today. We did get to some meaty stuff. I like this comment that Malika left about my carpenter jeans and shit like that. I'm like, oh, dude, I can't give up my carpenter jeans. The motherfucker's too comfortable. Carpenter jeans and my hoodies. I like my carpenter jeans and my hoodies. Don't mean I can't buy a suit, but if I have a reason to have to wear a suit more often, I buy more of them. But I don't. So whatever. I do like my carpenter jeans because I like pockets and durable clothing. It's just how I am. It's just me. So any woman liking me is gonna have to get used to that shit. Like, he probably gonna wear his carpenter jeans. I know how to dress for the proper occasion. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys for showing up today. I've been artisanmc. This has been Shop Talk Live. I do this every Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do this stream rain or shine, on call, or at home. I will do this stream because it's one of the things I look forward to doing for you, getting to speak to the geeks and talk about some geek stuff. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Like, share, subscribe, click the bell on the stream, and support if you feel so inclined. You can check me out on Instagram. Keep an eye on my community tab for my Last of Us link when I watch the episode. If you want to watch it with me, you can jump on, see me reacting to the shit live. Once that is done, it will go up on Patreon. It will not be on YouTube because I do not want strikes. So it is a closed stream. You come in, you see, you leave. That's it. The reaction will be put on YouTube, but the whole viewing will be put on Patreon. And the Patreon is Shop Talk with Artisanmc. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I have some wet floors to go look at. Thank you guys for coming through today. We did make our goal and go over it. We get close to that 15. Remember, after episode 3.52, the goal will be 15. But peace to y'all. Peace, Ray. Thanks for coming through. Peace to Toy. She said, love you. Love y'all. Not you, but y'all. Come through Texas, Toy. You better make a plate. Get on program. Need a plate. Yeah, no one says son of Ghost of Mars. Yeah, he is the son of Ghost of Mars. Come on, man. You know it. You saw that shit. You want to watch it right now as soon as I said that shit. Anyway, y'all, I appreciate you coming through. I'm Artisan MC, and the shop is now closed. See you guys next time.